What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny Gamescast, episode 191. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the Reverend Jared Petty.
Doki doki.
And for the first time ever, Sam Lighthammer from GameSpot.com.
Hello, everybody.
Yay!
I cannot.
Greg, clap. Stop taking notes. There it is. Thank you, cool Greg. Yeah. Oh, whoa. Okay.
Cannot get over how cool your name is.
Thank you.
Sam Lighthammer.
Lighthammer.
Sounds like the hero of a video game or the alter ego of a superhero.
A Norse god, for sure.
Oh, man.
Of course.
The last paladin.
Yeah.
Right, that's I've been called that before.
I love that.
Thank you. I made it my handle so that people would, I was telling this to Greg earlier, people would know that's how you say my last name.
Because of the spelling.
Because of the spelling. It's
Yeah,
like
it
a
works.
really weird German, like they definitely botched it a long time ago. Who knows what it was originally.
Leichthamer.
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
That's a mouthful.
That C just really like throws people.
That's where
Yeah.
you lose everybody. Yeah, exactly.
Do you ever think just like taking it back, just like completely like Anglicanizing it and making it just like it sounds?
You know, I actually have thought about that before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely have.
You have that power. You could do that.
Maybe, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Just like
if
change
it
it
actually
forever.
it just said Lighthammer.
Yeah, and from spelling my handle all the time, like now all of a sudden, like on forums, I'll say Lighthammer like my handle
that's
instead of
funny.
my
That's
last name.
funny.
I'll be like, wait, how do I spell my last name again?
Yeah. Where's the E and the I and the C go?
Oh, that's right.
Sam, what do you do at the GameSpot.com?
I am a social media producer and sometimes host.
Yeah, you hosted
Yeah.
the Assassin's Creed live stream with me and Alana Pierce.
Yes, it was a good time.
It was a good time. You were great on it.
Aw, you were great on it.
No, you.
No,
But that was the thing
you.
working with you. I was like, oh, you got to come by and do stuff. And then when I say that, I usually mean I'll put it in the thing in like December or January. And I was like, oh, wait, no, Jared and I need a co-host. We need somebody
Nice.
who can keep up with us. And I said that was you, Sam.
Yep.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah.
I sat in your chair the other day when I was recording with Mike.
How dare you?
I know you had there was a little post-it note. Y'all are very protective of your chairs. You have little post-it notes with your names on them. Yeah. I've not seen that other places I've been before.
You know, you got to guard your chair. It's like if you lose the chair, you're not going to get one that was the same.
Well, I went, it was like Sam, Greg, Alana, like these little post-it notes to protect them. I was like, this is very impressive.
Hey, man, they got to set it up. They're the opposite of us. Where they think things through. Someone has thought the night before of where he's going to sit for lower thirds and shit. Whereas we just walk in, it's like, cool, Greg, what's happening? I don't know, we're fixing the kegerator. All right, let's make a show.
They're a laid-back studio. Like, you just walk in and just like, yeah, we can do that for you. Yeah, we can do that for you.
Sure.
Yeah,
Not like
we're all
anything.
very accommodating. Very nice people.
Yeah, it's a pretty groovy place to be. That was my first time visiting.
Yeah, if you ever talk to people who work at GameSpot, they'll be like, everybody here's the best, they're the nicest. And then it's actually true. Yeah, it's really
You're not
weird.
waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, no, it's really nice. Everybody there's super awesome.
Do you love what you do?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was going to say, what brought
Yeah.
you to GameSpot?
So before I worked for GameSpot, I was previously hosting at Riot Games.
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, I did a community show there called All Chat.
Okay.
And that lasted for about a year and a half. And then it was over. When it was over, I was kind of like just looking for what was on the horizon, like the next thing. And I had written previously and done content freelance before for websites. So I did stuff for like Shack News and Prima Games.
Gotcha.
And when you name the website, I probably wrote something for it
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. And GameSpot had an opening for a social media role, and I just threw my hat in the my name in the bucket, and then it happened.
That's awesome.
And then I moved to San Francisco. I was in LA before, and they started utilizing me for hosting stuff, and so that's how we got to be on that stream together, Greg.
That's awesome.
What's
Yeah.
something people don't know about hosting in your job that would surprise them, you think, about? Something that,
Oh, something that would surprise them?
yeah.
I do like almost no preparation.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like I'm going to be completely honest. I will think about things for, I prepare maximum for an hour, maximum. If I really just show up and do it on the fly. Cause if you think too much about it beforehand, you get more messed up, I feel like.
It's the same reason I want to talk to you
Yeah.
beforehand about like I was like, wait, how long are you gonna get? You know what? Don't tell me about GameSpot. I'm gonna ask you about that when you get out there. We can't do that.
Yeah. So my secret is to just like not think about it too much and then just figure it out when
So
it happens.
utter lack of preparation.
Yes.
You'd
100%.
fit in well here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was
you did really well here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I that's probably the most surprising thing. What's another most surprising thing? I'm trying to think of something else that people wouldn't think about.
Yeah.
No.
If it comes to you later, you can let us know.
Yeah.
Because this is the Kind of Funny Games cast. Once a week, 3, sometimes 4 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a random. No, that's not right. We just talk about video games, what we love about them, what we've been playing, a big topic sometimes, and of course, play a little game we call mobile gamer bullshit. If you like that, you can head over to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, where you can get each and every games cast early. How early, Jared?
You can get it on
Right now! You could be watching it live right now on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames for $1 as we record it, which gets you the pre-show, where guess what? We played Assassin's Creed Odyssey via Google's Project Stream right here on the shitty little book. We're going to tell you all about it, but you could have seen it. Then
it's duct taped together.
You'd also get the post show to watch live, where we're going to unbox this Lego DC Supervillains press pack or influencer pack or whatever the hell pack. I don't know. It just showed up. We don't know what's in it because we're going to unbox it with you. If you want that pre and post show, you can, of course, and you missed it live, you can, of course, go to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Friday, it goes up as one big video. If you just want the MP3 that doesn't include that there, pre and post show, it's up on Friday as well. And if you don't want to give us any money and support the cause at patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, you can just wait. Monday, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. Podcast services around the globe. It's free. You can enjoy it. Have fun. Subscribe, like, and share.
I love the idea that you just open this up and Gwyneth Paltrow's head is in
Jesus.
there. And you're just like,
That's
yeah, you get to the
terrible.
end
That's
of
really,
7.
really dark.
It'd be a weird
Wait.
turn for a Lego DC Supervillains game.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
reminds me of that movie. What's the Lie movie?
7, yeah. That's where I was
7.
talking about. What's in the box?
Yeah,
That was
okay.
Gwyneth Paltrow's head in the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I got
spoiled-
that a little after the
That
fact.
reminds me of this. That's the exact reference he's making. Yeah, I don't know. That reminds you. That's what it is. Today in housekeeping, shout out
I'm Sam.
to Patreon producer Travis Barrett. Thank you for your support on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. And of course, thank you to all these beautiful people. The names that are scrolling by right now. They are the patreon.com/kindoffunnygames supporters for the month of September. And if you haven't caught on, today we're sponsored by patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. You can head over to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames right now. If you support us at the fan mail tier, what do you get for fan mail? You get my personal notes. You've seen me every Kind of Funny Gamescast jotting down things. You see me jot down stuff during Kind of Funny Games Daily. We are putting those in envelopes and sending them out autographed so you can have a piece of history.
Get one of those scoreboards from Mobile Gamer Bullshit.
You will
right
get the
there,
mobile.
yeah,
That's why I'm very meticulous about my notes and
Yeah,
scoring so
gotta
people
keep
can
'em.
see them. Yeah, that's right
right.
there used. Sam,
Yes.
we begin every show, which is what
Yes.
usually just becomes the show. What have you been playing? What have you been playing lately?
So I this week had a Mario Party.
Oh,
It
an
wa-
actual Mario Party.
Yes, we had a Mario Party. We had like an actual Mario Party and played Super Mario
So
Party.
you had people over for a Mario Party and played Super Mario Party
Yeah.
on your Switch.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I'm a big fan of Mario Party.
Sure.
I'm also a huge like Nintendo fan. Been playing all the Mario Parties since the beginning.
Yeah.
But then a terrible thing happened.
They got bad for a while.
The Wii.
The Wii period, not even the Wii U.
Well,
okay.
you know, the Wii was just bad, period. That's a whole other separate
Wow.
discussion. I'm sorry.
I am
I'm not sorry.
offended, milady.
I'm not even sorry. I really didn't like the Wii. I'm sorry.
The waggle.
Yeah.
Too much waggle for you?
I hated the nunchuck so much. Those
Yeah.
motion controls were so dumb.
Yeah.
What do you have against innovation?
You don't have to answer that.
Sometimes, yeah, I'm not,
I don't know if the innovation of waggle was what we needed.
yeah. This is like a
Hey,
mechanic I
it was
never
used.
asked for.
It was used well occasionally. The majority of the time,
Tennis.
It sucked. Yeah.
Tennis. That was like the only thing I enjoyed with that nunchuck. Do you guys remember Skyward Sword?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, it was.
I try not to, but
Exactly.
It exists still.
It does.
Like you can't just like pretend that it didn't happen.
I can.
You'd be surprised what Jared can black out.
Yeah, it's amazing what I can forget.
Anyway,
You
so
drink enough.
You done?
Damn, she just owned you. Sam doesn't take Jared's shit.
For context, guys, he forgot my name.
Oh, here we go.
I did.
Here we go.
I'm
did.
not gonna forget that.
She shouldn't.
No.
It's a terrible thing to forget someone's name.
So anyway, back to Mario Party. The Wii and the Wii U both like completely just decimated Mario Party. Like, all the Mario Party games on those consoles are bad. Do you have opinions?
My opinion was the Wii U sucks. I refused to play anything on it, and so I didn't
Oh.
play the Wii U.
Wow, we're the same.
Well, no, I didn't go that far with the Wii, but the Wii definitely eventually got so much shovelware and stuff like that that it was hard to find. I wasn't using
Okay.
it often. But
Okay.
I was with you of N64. Loved all those Mario parties. You know what I mean? And I assume on GameCube when I was in college we were playing them here and there. but I
Yeah,
don't
no,
remember
GameCube was
well.
great too. I was a huge GameCube fan. I
Yeah.
loved my GameCube. I still love my GameCube.
Yeah.
And then that happened, and I just kind of fell off.
Sure.
Really hard.
Yeah, the Wii U is home to several good games, none of which are called Mario Party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I got, after the Wii, and I think it was right after the Wii came out, I decided to really start getting more into my PlayStation games.
Sure.
Kind of just like switched over.
Yeah.
And then the Switch was really exciting. It's the first Nintendo console I actually bought since the GameCube when I was a kid. It's like,
Wow.
yeah, I didn't get the Wii or I lied. I did buy the Wii used
Okay.
to play Skyward Sword.
Smart. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, that must have been a really disappointing day for you.
Did you do Mario Galaxy?
Yes, I played Mario.
Okay, Mario Galaxy, redeem it.
Yeah.
1 and 2 both.
No,
Yeah,
that was a great game. There are good games on it. I just,
Sure.
the classic controller didn't come out soon enough for me.
Sure.
So, anyway,
Wait, the classic controller was available at launch, wasn't it?
no, it wasn't.
The little round one, right? With the two
Yeah,
sticks.
yeah, there was a tiny one, and then they made like a nicer one afterwards.
Gotcha.
Oh, you're thinking of the later one. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's all a blur.
It's all
I remember
blur,
they
really.
put out didn't they
Yeah.
put out a special edition controller with Monster Hunter on Wii? I remember that being a big one too.
There was all kinds of weird stuff around that. But we
Yeah, it was a
digress.
weird time. It was
But
a
there
weird
were a lot
time.
of bad Mario Party games.
Yes,
for a while.
terrible ones. And so this is the first one. The Switch has been so exciting for me in general.
Yeah.
I just love the Switch a lot.
Us too.
A lot.
Yeah.
And all the things that I feel like they were trying to achieve in older Mario parties on the Wii and Wii U, they finally were able to really achieve with the Switch. So like the Joy-Cons are awesome.
Sure, for all the mini games
For
and
all the
stuff?
mini
Yeah.
games. I mean, like I really liked 1-2 Switch. A lot of people were like,
It was a great demo.
Yeah,
it was a
it was
great
a
fun.
cool-
Like, hey, here's what these things can do. How many ice cubes are in the glass or whatever. All right.
Yeah, I was really sold on like them showing off the technology of
Sure.
the Joy-Con,
Sure.
and you can really see them utilize all that stuff in the mini games.
Right.
So the mini games are super fun.
What's your
And
favorite one?
There's one that reminds me of bumper balls from Mario Party 2.
Oh, where you get on you try to knock each other off the
Yeah,
top.
and there's a lot of games like that are kind of like knock each other out of the ring, sort
Yeah.
of like Smash Brothers inspired,
Yeah.
which are really fun. Another one I really liked was, I forget the name of it, but you have to shake candy out of a little glass jar, and you kind of like tilt the Joy-Con and you shake it up and down and get the candies out, and it's like really frustrating but really fun.
Kind of an instance of like, it's
Yeah.
not if you waggle, it's how you waggle as to whether or not the game is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then there's a lot of really great like 3v1 games. There's
Yeah.
one where you have to like throw fire tennis balls
Yep.
at
We just we filmed some more party modes yesterday, the multiplayer show we do.
Yeah,
And so that was
so-
my first time getting to play Super Mario Party. They had already done a couple things. So we did the whatever 10 turn game. And
the block. I forget what the game mode is called now, but there's
didn't see
there's a mini game mode.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like a 12 square. I can't remember the name of it right now, but
Sure.
You play a mini game. The winner of that mini game, there's 12 turns, and the winner of that mini game gets to place take a block in a 4x4. Right? Yeah, whatever. Cube. It's like complicated tic-tac-toe. It's really fun.
Okay.
And it's a fun way to go through the mini games and still
Well,
have that competitive
I had
thing.
so much fun with all the mini games we had yesterday. My favorite that stands out is when it was count all the toads on the train. Where
That
the
was so good.
The camera pans, then you have to. Have you played this?
Not the new one.
The toads.
Toads get up and they're moving around. They're walking around. You got to try to count and get an accurate count. It's kind of like Price is Right of like everybody's like trying to
Yes.
one up each other
That's
but
right.
stay in the same area.
Another one that was really good was Slapperazzi.
Oh, I didn't see this one.
Slapperazzi was, you're in a circle and there's Koopas that are like paparazzi that come up, and the goal is that you have to be you have to get the photo.
that's
so it's
awesome.
like everybody's like pushing each other out of the way to try to like snap
Nice.
a picture with the paparazzi, but you like have to slap people out of the way.
That's adorable.
It's really adorable and it's really funny because they show the pictures after they take them, and it's all the Nintendo characters making like really silly, ridiculous faces, and it's just silly and it's fun.
So can you qualify what makes this one work when the last several didn't?
So the thing that is the biggest is it actually the game boards are back, and they're really good. They're just well designed. It feels like it's old Mario Party, but completely redone and with the Switch and all the characters. It just looks so freaking good, and it fixes all the problems that happened in like the Wii and Wii U versions of Mario Party. Like the linear boards were bad, not enough mini games, not enough options to like sabotage your opponents, lack of competition, and like in I think it was Mario Party 10 with the Bowser like 1v4 mode. That was like the only fun. Bowser Party was the only fun thing about that game.
I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
Like the rest of the game was just like really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, this definitely when I'm playing it, and I'm somebody who again has lapsed out long ago on Mario Party. I remember really liking 1, 2, I think, and then it gets foggy as to what I play and what I didn't play. Coming back to this is what I, in my head, remember the original Mario Party being.
Like feeling like,
Crazy. Here are some crazy fun mini games. The boards are Though I guess I've only played the Bob-omb one, right? Where the King Bob-omb's in the center, and if you get enough things, it'll blow it up and hurt everybody take their coins. But they're small enough to maneuver and have a chance to get, when the star moves, when you get a warp pipe, to get over there and get these things, like actually get into the action of it. You're screwing each other over, you're screaming at each other. It's, it is ridiculous. There's certain one-way paths and all this other jazz. Yeah.
And all the characters have like, little things about them that make them more themselves. They're cuter. There's little dialogue. They have little animations that are,
Toad's wearing a bow tie.
Oh, that's good.
Come
so
on.
do you feel like just more TLC went into it? Is it just like somebody looked at it and said, what have we gotten wrong before and what would make this feel better?
Yeah, they took it feels like they just took a lot of corrective action. Like it seems like they looked at what failed before or even concepts that they were trying to implement, but maybe they couldn't with the technology, and they just improved. They just addressed everything.
Is it a new Nintendo obviously second party devs are on Mario Party for a long time. Is it a new dev?
Probably. I actually haven't looked at it.
I don't know.
It's funny you brought this up because I don't actually remember why I did all this research about Mario Party. Maybe it was for an article or
maybe you're just obsessed.
A gallery. I don't remember. Okay. I did a ton of research about Mario Party devs recently.
Because Nintendo does farm out a lot of work.
It's ND Cube.
Who is it?
ND Cube.
ND Cube. Oh, okay. I don't think they did the last one, did they? No, that's the
Japanese video game developer based in Japan with office in Tokyo and Sapporo.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
Oh, it's ND Cube is fully owned by Nintendo subsidiary.
Okay.
Company was founded in 2000.
Like an intelligent system situation or HAL. Okay.
Interesting, yeah.
Fun.
Cool.
Well, they do a lot of that. I mean, they farm out a lot of work because they're still a company
okay. So they've done a bunch, actually.
Which ones did they do?
So it seems like they start 2001, they get going, but it's Mario Party 9 in 2012.
So they did do the...
They did 9 and 10.
Mario Party Island 2 or Mario Party 10.
So it's not a
Mario Party Star Rush.
Same one.
Yeah.
Mario Party the Top 100.
I was going to say, I think that I would believe that it was the same as 10 because a lot of like the characters look similar, have the same outfits on. Rosalina looks the same. Like there's a lot of similarities.
Sure.
This just looks like much more refined.
Is the ally system new? I wasn't familiar
the buddy,
with this.
like the little sidekick thing.
Yeah, where like I was going through and I ended up getting like 3 buddies or whatever in the game that then when I rolled my dice, rolled their dice and added it to my total.
Yeah, I think so. I haven't seen that in the past.
I mean, as somebody who was a lapsed fan coming
back,
I thought that was really cool and a really fun way to spice it up because it was I'd get a terrible roll and then they'd help booster me or the star moved at one point and I used, I went in and used Wario's thing that was either -2 coins, or all 6s. And I got a 6, and then they added to me, and I was like 15. I was able to go over.
The other thing I really like is the secondary dice. You have like each character has their own dice that you can roll or die.
One die, plural dice. Unless you're in England, then dice is the singular.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
England.
You're just full of knowledge.
No, really, I'm not. I just make it all up as I go.
And everyone's like, "Oh, good call."
With conviction, and I believed you. But yeah, no. You have this dice that you can roll, and it's like high risk on some of them. Like I know
there's pros and cons to each one.
There's pros and cons to each one.
Yeah.
So
there's a basic
cool.
die, and then like I was playing as I don't recall, but I had a 10. But then I also had like a bunch of low numbers. But then I could get super high rolls if I wanted. But why take the chance, Jared? Play it safe.
So I'm having friends over Sunday to watch Hocus Pocus, one of the greatest Halloween movies ever.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie.
Oh, really? You love Hocus Pocus? Oh, you should come over and watch Hocus Pocus.
I absolutely will.
That sounds amazing.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that after the show. But I'm having friends over. Should I run out, buy Mario Party before I have my friends over to watch Hocus Pocus?
100%. I mean, if it's a group of people who like party games, definitely.
Okay.
Because it's such a fun game to play with other people.
Where's it top out?
What do you mean?
In terms of number of players.
Oh, 4.
4. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't come to a party then because we already have 4 people coming.
That's like, I know. I feel like they could have. Wait, did you just uninvite me to your party?
I might have.
All right, before you go crazy, she could bring her own Switch and then you could have 2 Mario parties going at once.
We could do that.
This is true.
But now we have to invite 3 more people.
I wish that I wish that they had made it more players. I know that that's kind of extends the length of the game, but why not? Just get more Joy-Cons. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you can do
that seemed to be the one thing in terms of length that I saw more and more people complaining about, right? That like there's not the 50 turn and there's not the crazy, maybe even 100 turn. I forget what they were looking for, but it's more, it's 10 turn or whatever.
Yeah, the 10 turn, you can select between, I think there's a couple higher ones. The games are about an hour to an hour and a half. Okay. You can select the length, and different maps are a little longer than others, I think. Or not maps, but boards. And then the other thing I wanted to mention about Mario Party, which was fun, was this rhythm game mode that they have. it's just like a side game that's all rhythm based, but it's really fun. It uses the Joy-Con in a really unique way, and I love rhythm games, and so I was a little confused as why they didn't include that in any of the mini games. Like, why didn't they just make the rhythm game a mini game?
Yeah.
But it's actually its own really fun game.
So you like rhythm-based games? You like Joy-Con rhythm-based? Are you going to buy Taiko Drum Master when it comes out soon?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Me too.
Sounds right up my alley.
You put here that you recently jumped back into Overwatch.
I did.
So are you slipping back into an addiction? Tell me about your Overwatch playing.
No, actually, the addiction is League of Legends.
Oh.
That's my relapse.
You
game.
left Riot, but you still can't get away from
I
it.
can't. Even when I've been like, no more, I fall back in. With Overwatch, I came back for the Halloween event stuff. I really like the PvE stuff.
Yeah.
I love the skins. The Halloween skins are really fun. And I'm really liking, I thought my favorite skin was the Fallout, I was going to say Fallout 76.
Yeah.
The Soldier 76 skin.
Gotcha.
It's like a slasher Jason style mask thing. And I thought that was funny because the Halloween movie's coming out. It's very much like tis the season. I also really liked the Sombra skin, which was like a Frankenbride. Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And the theme this year is kind of cool. It's like old horror, and I like classic horror stuff, like the Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, Bela Lugosi, stuff like that. Wolfman, yeah.
Love that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
So video games that exist at the intersection of like, I love this. Halloween is the holiday about being who you can't be or who you're not.
Yes.
Sure.
And video games are about being who you can't be or who you're not.
Yeah.
And so when they meet, it's just the best.
Yeah,
It makes me so happy.
it feels so good. Do you guys have any Halloween events that you like in games or you're looking forward to?
I get Costume Quest out every year and play it.
Hell yeah.
At Halloween.
Ooh.
Costume Quest, hell
Costume
yeah.
Quest 2 is not quite as good, but Costume Quest, although it does have the great candy corn jokes, which are awesome.
Yeah.
But different.
Our candy corns there are just terrible.
It's so great. The candy corn, like there are 1,000 candy corn one-liners in that game.
Yeah.
There's a Twitter account where you just get them all fed to your phone. I get one every day.
Costume Quest is fantastic.
Yeah, so you're big on that.
I loved
I
Costume
didn't
Quest.
know
Yeah.
you love that.
Yeah, don't you remember like the first Up at Noon? I had Tim Schafer on. I gave him it was right after their Kickstarter success for what would become Broken Age. I made them a giant novelty check for $5 to start the Costume Quest 2 one.
I have never seen that.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't watch Up
You're
at
a
Noon when you
monster.
hosted
You're
it.
a monster.
What are you talking about?
You're the
Come
reason
on.
IGN fired me,
Yeah.
and then I'm the reason they fired you.
That's how it worked.
Yeah, that's exactly how it went out.
Neither of us were fired.
No, we both left of our own accord. We love them very much. No, I don't play many. Hey, this is a game
Like online
as a service.
games
I mean,
that
it's like I have, and I've gone through I've had my Fortnite addiction. I was addicted last year to Friday the 13th and stuff like that. I played Destiny.
Right.
I'm super stoked for the Division 2. But yeah, right now there's nothing I'm playing where I'd be like, I got to get back and go do this. Back in the day,
Right.
DC Universe Online, of course. But
All right. Yeah.
that was a different time.
That was fun.
Different time altogether.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's exciting. I like the PvE on that.
Yeah.
The Halloween game mode is really fun.
Is
So-
League doing anything for Halloween this year?
I don't know, actually.
I wonder.
Wait, I want to say they had some skin. They're having some skins. Hold on. I should know this.
She's thinking it's.
I should know.
brewing.
I don't
You
know
don't
this.
work there anymore. This isn't your fault for not
Yeah,
knowing
no,
that.
I don't. I really don't know, but they maybe are. They have skins that have come out during Halloween
Yeah.
time or seasonal.
I
Skins.
love it when stuff's seasonal. Like I think that's such
Yeah.
a brilliant idea. Of,
I'm like a
bringing people in.
seasonal. I am such a sucker for seasonal anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like pumpkin spice.
Oh, yeah.
That shit gets me
totally.
every year.
Totally.
I can't help it.
You have to.
Give me that pumpkin
Love
spice.
it.
I think it's a crime against humanity that pumpkin spice has become a joke because it's so
know.
good. It smells so good. It tastes so good.
It's a thing. Sure, it's a punchline for a lot of people. It's more popular than ever. It's everywhere. When I got those
it's
pumpkin
delicious.
spice, over there I got pumpkin spice Pop Tarts. I got pumpkin spice coffee.
I brought you pumpkin spice cookies.
Exactly. Oh, no, they were ginger spice.
Oh, or the ginger
Yeah,
spice
yeah.
I brought you. I also. I think Nick got the pumpkin spice.
You held out on me, and I don't like that one.
I
but
didn't know that actually.
That's okay.
I didn't realize that.
Now, if you're somebody who doesn't like allspice at all, I mean, I can understand if you just don't like nutmeg, right?
Sure.
Or you
Yeah.
just don't like cinnamon. Like that's fair. But don't hate on pumpkin spice just for the sake of it.
Sure, it's too popular.
If you love
Stop
pumpkin,
hating things that are popular.
right? If you love pumpkin pie, like you like pumpkin spice, get out of here.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Double down on
Great
that.
point, Sam.
Double
Great
down on
point.
what you love.
Yeah. Also, I was thinking about the candy corn one-liners. And my favorite joke ever about candy corn is that they were all made at one time. And every year,
They just keep
It's
releasing
just
a few more.
reservoir of them.
yeah, they're like all the candy corn that exist were all made like 50 years
It's
ago.
an ongoing war here
Yeah.
because Joey and I like it.
Yeah, you like candy corn?
Yeah, Nick hates it. Kevin really
Candy corn's
hates it.
okay. I'm just kind of like whatever about it.
Yeah,
it's fine.
it's such a great seasonal
Yeah.
seasonal treat. You know
There's
what
a
I mean?
weird thing with candy. My mom buys it for me every year, but she doesn't eat it. But I think she's convinced I like it, and I'll eat it. I like it. but she buys me way more than I would ever eat on my own.
Sure.
So she thinks you really like it.
Yeah, she does. I don't have the heart to tell her.
thing.
I should probably just tell her, but at this point, it's been like, a lifetime, and why screw with it?
No, it's like a thing now. It's cute.
So for
I like it.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I like that his mom buys him candy corn.
Of course,
I think
yeah.
it's really cute.
I have a good mom.
What are you
Yeah.
doing now though? Because you're on the crazy
On
keto
keto?
diet.
I don't know. This is going to be my first Halloween on keto. I'm not going to cheat, so I guess.
Just bring it in here. Bring your
I
mom's
guess I'm
candy
just
corn
going to
in.
make myself some turkey legs.
Perfect. All
It's
right.
not bad.
And color them.
Are we doing this pumpkin carving contest? I mean, great. Cool
Cool
Greg
Greg brought it
retweets.
up. I don't know if that's happening or not. It's a Cool Greg special. If there's
Cool
gonna
Greg,
be
are
a
we doing
pumpkin.
it?
I got the tweets, man. I said, how much you would need? 200 retweets?
Yeah.
And I got it. I think I was like 400 by the end of that.
Oh
shit.
well, yeah, we're doing it then. It's
Whoa.
happening. Yeah. All right,
Okay.
cool. Cool
Pumpkin
Greg, you
carving
pick
is
the day.
so
Yeah.
fun.
All right.
You can be a GOG. You can be the next GOG.
We should do it like maybe when we do a barbecue.
Okay. Well, we're barbecuing too, man. Cool Greg's making
gosh.
demands over there. You talk about League of Legends, and here you put kind of a lifestyle. What does that
it's
mean? How
like-
many hours? How many hours do we put into League?
The last time I checked, it was around 1,000, I think.
Lord almighty.
That's not that bad.
That's not that bad.
Not that bad.
What other things could you have done in 1,000 hours?
Like a lot. You could get an esthetician, a cosmetology license in 1,000 hours.
You
could
could.
be a hairdresser.
There you go.
Stephen King could write a
could-
novel in 1,000 hours. I'm
Stephen
reasonably
King could probably write a novel in less time than that, but
Yeah.
he could probably write two.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put in a lot of time. I started playing a long time ago. Like right after the game came out in like
Yeah.
season 1 or something. So it was probably like 2010. And I felt I had like a love-hate relationship with it then, but then I found a crew of people that I became addicted to playing with.
See, that's always the kicker, right? When you
Yeah.
find a group you want to play with. When they're
Yeah,
playing a game.
and also at the same time, I had like a broken foot surgery situation.
Sure.
So I was like non-weight bearing, had a lot of time on my hands, and I just fell in super hard. And it just became my game for a long time. I actually like, completely ignored other games. It's really sad.
It happens, man, when you find a game like that, right?
I ignored other games for not all other games, but largely I only played it for like 2 or 3 years.
Wow, jeez Louise.
Yeah. So
And you keep relapsing back into it.
yeah, it's like a past lover or something.
Sure, yeah,
You just
yeah,
get seduced every once in a
Caught
while.
in a bad romance.
Yeah, caught in a bad romance. I still love the game though. I can't lie.
I have a question about this for you. You play with
Yeah.
the same group of people still.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Not all those members still play anymore, but one of my best friends who plays it still does.
Okay, so you're with some of those connections.
Yeah.
So my limited exposure to the League community is that you have these incredible teams of people that
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
really get along well, that play together as teams, and then very often you find yourself paired against horrible monster children.
Yeah.
What does that like for? Is it just that the gameplay is so good that you don't care that they're screaming horrible things at you for 2 hours, or?
Well, it's all in chat toxicity,
Right.
so you can just like mute all chat. Like you don't have to even like pay attention to that stuff if you don't
Okay.
want to. And I think that like League of Legends has a bad rap for having a toxic community, but in reality,
Isn't every online community?
every online community
every
sort of
video
has that. Like
game
think
you're
of
gonna play,
Call
you're
of
gonna
Duty,
find
right?
people.
Like I don't know. Think of a lot of these. They all have like their own stigmas, I guess. But in reality, in person, I've gone to a lot of competitive tournaments, a lot of events, a lot of like community meetups and
Yeah.
stuff, and the community is, for all the bad and negative things that people say about online, in reality, I haven't seen another game bring people together like that before, and that scale.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking like thousands of people will get together and become like hang out and become friends and like create things, and it's pretty remarkable how it happened.
The people I've met personally from Riot are delightful. They're
Yeah.
energetic, loving, interesting, passionate people.
Super passionate.
And all of them share a love for the game. So obviously there's a lot incredible going on there.
Yeah, and I think there's like the part, one of the most I'm trying to think of the like failing to kind of find a word for it, but
I hate that when you jump and you see the trapeze coming at you, and you try to grab it, and you just fall. You're like, that wasn't. I didn't get it.
you know what it is? There's a lot of endearing things about the game, like the characters and the animations and the stories they come up with, and I think people identify with the characters. You'll see there's a lot of artists and cosplayers who are obsessed with the lore of League of Legends just because of the design of the characters. So it's endearing. It's an endearing game.
That's amazing.
So
Yeah.
you're not playing the same group anymore, but the one best friend,
still-
is that what's
yeah.
bringing you back? Is that what helps seduce you? Like, hey, you want to do something tonight? Oh, we could kick on League.
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely every once in a while I'll be like, hey, you want to hang out and play games tonight? I just feel like it's mindless because I've been playing for so long.
Sure,
I can
yeah.
just like jump in and do a thing, and we can hang out and talk and have fun and like make jokes, and that's the magic of playing like online games in general.
Everybody's Destiny rated at this point. We all know what it's like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You have your crew that
Yeah.
you raid with and all that, and that's the best part of the experience. But I also have been working on a series about League, about the League community and esports for GameSpot. You guys should check it out. So I'm going to plug myself right here.
Do it. No, plug
a
everything.
series, a written series? What kind?
It's an 8-part series, and we're talking about all different things in the League community. So we started out with we did a bio of one of the biggest esports stars in the LCS. We talked to Rick Fox, who bought a team, Echo Fox.
Yep.
Cool.
The episode that's coming out this week is all about the NBA connection. So it's all about like the traditional sports.
That's cool.
We interviewed the manager of the Golden State Warriors and like other traditional sports organizations that are investing in competitive gaming and why they're doing it and all that. Next week, it's going to be a cosplay episode. So we talked to all types of cosplayers. If you're into cosplay, next week's episode is going to be really fun. And yeah, we're just exploring all the different little parts of the community, from esports to cosplay to fan meetups and all those.
And what's that called again?
Stuff. It's called GameSpot Chronicle, and it's a GameSpot Chronicle. Chronicle is like a series that they do. We've did it for Overwatch League, or
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's a GameSpot Chronicle all about League of Legends.
Cool. I'm going to watch that.
Thank you.
So then, what is still bringing you back to it? I mean, is it just comfort food at this point?
Comfort
where, you
food,
know?
straight up
Yeah.
comfort food, straight up just like macaroni and cheese. I just want to not think about what I'm doing and play with my friends. What's your guys' comfort food?
Hold on, no, don't answer that question.
Oh, okay, I'm not allowed to.
Tay Maginiotto wrote in to me on Twitter when I said, hey, it's the Gamescast, what questions you got? And he says, what's your equivalent of video game junk food? Something you always play from time to time, knowing you have other things to go play, but you always go back to this game whenever you want to feel good and comfy. Love the show. Praise Kevin.
Excellent. For me,
Yeah.
Sid Meier's Pirates. Hands
Really?
down. My all-time favorite video game. Endless replayability. It's a single-player game. It created the archetype for sandbox games. It's still somehow fun many decades after it was created. It's been remade a couple of times,
Yeah.
and
that PSP version was good, I remember.
it was. I loved it.
Yeah.
And it could, but Pirates could be remade like tomorrow,
Yeah,
and it would
it'd still
still
be
be great. It's just an unbreakable formula, and it's almost endless replayability because all the world parameters can be set differently, and it radically changes how you have to approach the game.
That's awesome.
Have you ever played it?
I actually haven't.
It's a good one. If imagine like the proto Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Oh,
it's
okay.
like that. It's
Where
the
it all
game-
came from.
Yeah, Black Flag is unashamedly inspired by Sid Meier's
Sure.
Pirates. It's
like a lot of games are.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree with you there. Yeah, it created sandbox gaming as we know it today.
That's awesome.
It's a
See,
great game.
it breaks my heart to hear you talk about League of Legends and going back to it and like you're saying, I just jump back in and it's great, right? Because for me, it was DC Universe Online, where I was obsessed when it came out, took months off, came back, was re-obsessed, platinumed it, took a year off, came back, and I did that cycle for a long, long time, dropping back in and out. But recently being last like year probably, I was like, man, I feel like playing DC, and I dropped back in there and had no fucking idea what was going on anymore, because it's one of those, it's been updated so many times that I jumped in and it was like, they've redone skill points, they've taken all this away, my loadout's entirely wiped, and it's just like, cool, what
So
was
it's
I
like-
doing? How do I do any of this? How do I get back on the horse? I couldn't even figure it out.
It's like you love
Yeah.
meatloaf, and then you came back, and all there is now is Fiesta meatloaf, which has like weird stuff in it.
What
That's
is Fiesta meatloaf?
I don't know. I'm just imagining
Pop
that,
rocks, meatloaf,
Fiesta
pop rocks in
meatloaf
it.
sounds like something my mother-in-law would like make and bring to a church dinner. She'd be
Yeah,
like,
it's got
Fiesta
like
meatloaf.
really, it's got bright yellow, green, and red in it.
Yeah,
And I don't know what that is.
So, like,
Is that a
I
It's like
thought
fruit drink?
leftover
recipe.
meatloaf, like
Yeah.
leftovers.
So like with that in my head, like I would think then the video game junk food equivalent for me would be something like either Luminous or Tetris.
Oh yeah.
Where if you put any version of those games out, I will buy them and I will sink hours on into them.
Tetris is so good.
Tetris is so good, and Tetris Effect is
So
right
good.
around the corner. I can't wait for Tetris Effect.
I love Tetris.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So
but even
good.
having Luminous now on Switch and on PlayStation 4, it's that thing of, okay, cool. Like, I'm done playing Assassin's Creed for now. I'm done doing this. Let's pop in. You know what I mean? It's the same equivalent
Right.
of a cheap platinum, where I just want to get that easy hit.
When are you going to do this contest with the Tetris guy you keep talking about?
Oh, Justin Massigo?
Yeah.
He's not,
He's not in?
He's not equipped to hold a can. No, I just don't know.
Okay.
It's a very busy end of the year here
Yeah,
for
it
us.
is.
So
What?
many things have fallen by the wayside as we hurdle towards the Kind of Funny Game Showcase, a press conference we decided to throw.
A busy fourth quarter.
I know, who would have thunk, right? Oh,
I
man.
feel like this year has been crazy because there's so many good games.
Yes. And well, it's like not even that. It's
what?
like it's crazy that this year is busy because there's so many good games, and last year was that way. And last year, I remember us being like, "Is it the greatest year of gaming ever?" It might be. Da da da. There's no way. And then you get to this year, and you're like, "Fuck, this year's also
Wait,
excellent."
refresh me on last year. What was amazing?
Last year was Switch, right? So it
Yeah,
was Zelda.
Zelda.
It was Super Mario,
Yeah,
right? It was.
those were both amazing.
Yeah, it was Uncharted.
How many moons did you get in
4?
Odyssey?
What?
How many moons did you get in Odyssey?
Lord.
I dropped out. Yeah, I beat it. I beat the game, but I didn't go back and do like Darker Side of the Moon. I was all
No,
talk of like,
Did
it's
you do
gonna be
$9.99?
No. I think I did around like 400 moons or something.
Yeah.
And then
I did at least 600. I know that I beat the final, like I beat Darker Side the night before I graduated from the hospital. Like that was I had to beat Odyssey before I left. Like it got so tied to it. So
I touched the
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. The
microphone,
mic doesn't matter.
yeah, so
Mine.
that was like
Still not
literally
heard
like
this.
the night before at like 2 a.m. I'm sitting there grinding on Darker Side. Like I must defeat you.
Yeah.
There's existential meaning to this. And, well, it was good.
Yeah, I forget how many moons I had. I beat the campaign, and also help me.
Yeah.
No, last year was Uncharted Lost Legacy, not 4.
Yeah.
Uncharted 4 was the year before
I was
that.
still working at IGN when 4
Yeah,
came
exactly.
out.
Just want to make sure I had my mindset
Right.
on that one.
Yeah.
And
That's
what
how I
else?
measure
Like, what
things in
was,
my
like-
life where I was still working at Sorry. I didn't
Oh no,
interrupt you.
sorry, I was interrupting you though.
Well, you know what?
Yeah,
I've already found ways to cause you pain several times today. So please.
Aw. I was just gonna say, but I mean, like, yeah, those games were amazing, but Persona 5 that happened
Yep.
last year
Yep,
too.
yep.
Now that I'm thinking about it, what else was there?
I gotta look it up because I know last year we did the whole
Well, I
thing
mean,
of
Breath of
like
the Wild,
There was-
Mario Odyssey, Persona 5, Nier Automata.
Yeah.
That was last year. We're forgetting a ton.
Exactly.
The last couple of years have been
We're
amazing.
offending
98's a great year. 87's an
Resident
incredible
Evil
year.
7.
2005, I think. was one
Resident
of the
Evil
best
7
years.
is too spooky for me.
Yeah.
it was, Horizon.
spooky.
We're
You
idiots.
gonna play 2?
Horizon. yeah.
Cuphead,
You
Fortnite,
Oh,
Wolfenstein,
yeah.
Destiny 2.
I'm too scared.
Yeah.
I could play it with
Hellblade.
somebody else, but not by myself.
Well, it's fun to play with a friend. Like that's survival horror with like somebody like snuggling up in the dark and like screaming. That's part of the
that's
fun.
the best. That is the best. But I can't do it alone. So it's got to be. I got to have like a partner to commit to playing it with me. Otherwise,
Yeah.
nightmares for days.
You've been playing. You started Assassin's Creed Odyssey, what I think is
Yeah.
one of the best games so far this year.
Yeah. We played it a little bit together.
Yeah, we did do that.
Last week. Was that last week?
It was.
Wow, that was so long ago.
Yep. It feels like it, right? It feels like a
was
lifetime
so
ago at
long
this
ago.
point, right?
Yeah, it was like not even 7 days ago because
Yeah.
it was Friday.
Yeah.
Jeez, that was anyway.
been a
Yeah,
week.
you know what's interesting? I was never a big Assassin's Creed person. I always like kind of found the historical elements really interesting, and I loved the design, the cities, locations. Controversially, I liked 3 because of the colonial America setting. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, the setting was very cool. With
Yeah.
That game. It was just everything else that sucked.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like desensitized to that because I've never been a big Assassin's Creed fan. With that said, I really like what they're doing with Odyssey, and I think it's really fun and interesting.
I don't.
You're 40 hours in, 40 something
I'm
hours in.
45 hours in now. Level 41, I think I turned last night, and the game can. And I'm gonna have a different angle on it, sir, long-time listeners, because I know I've been talking about it nonstop. Like the game continues to get better, and for me, it's been that interesting thing of playing it and being like, I still don't think it's my game of the year. God of War's still top of the pile for me, right? But like when I started it, especially starting it like less than a month after Spider-Man, rolling credits on that, and the year we've had with games, to start it and be like, yeah, this is cool. Not game of the year, not in the conversation for game of the year. But the more and more I play it, the more and more I talk about it, and like I'm having these, for me, I think heartwarming moments of, my wife goes to bed early. I play till midnight, come to bed, and then the next morning, while either she's making me lunch or I'm taking care of Portillo or we're having coffee, I sit there and recap these side quests, because that's like for me where the game stands in another level is the fact that I think I understand people saying it's not Assassin's Creed as they remember it. Okay, sure, I understand they've changed it, they've made it more RPG, they've done all these different things. And when people started initially talking about it, people were saying, "Oh, it's like Skyrim with better graphics, or Skyrim with a different point of view,
Right.
or it's similar to Witcher." And I was like, I don't know about all that. Now that I'm so invested in it, I had a turning point. Must have been today's Thursday, so Tuesday night, where I was playing it, and I'm trying to beat it before Red Dead. I was like, I gotta beat the story before Red Dead gets here. I don't want to get trapped behind the ball and not have this finished. And Tuesday night was the first time where I took a breath and I was just like, you know what? I don't feel like chasing that right now. Instead, I'm going to go that way. I have, the map lights up as you open it all up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I haven't cut clear across that northwest in a while, ever, actually, in this game. So I climbed on my horse, and I already spent my in-game currency to get a unicorn. So I got this unicorn that gallops and has rainbow trails on its hooves. And I got on her and just rode, and I was just riding, and that popped up, and I'd go investigate. And sometimes it was like a part of a bigger quest I'd forgotten that was there, or it would be that I'd start entering into these things. And when you see these side quests, you see all these things that aren't main story, and you do them and you enjoy them, but just running into people and having a conversation. And again, this is a game where when people talk, I don't pick up my phone. I'm like, oh man, this is so well acted, it's so well written, and so cool. I want to know what's happening. I hear it, and then I'd go off and do it, and I'd come back and give it to them, or I'd run into something, and it was just mind-boggling. And I started getting these scenarios where, I'd be like, oh, and I had a great, and Jen would be like, tell me about it. It's like this morning I sat down and told her, I'm going to ruin this one for you. It's just a side quest, but it's still cool, right?
Just kidding.
40 hours in, when you get to level 40.
This is the one I've been waiting for. The spoilers.
But I'm playing, and I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm just going around doing it. And I ride around, I see the exclamation mark, I go over there, and it's this guy in a cage, like in a steel cage, or not a steel cage, but like a wooden cage over there with two people out front, a man and a woman. And I walk up to them, I'm like, what's going on? And basically the dude in the cage is like, I've put myself, it turns out the mother and father are like, this is our adult son, and he is crazy. Something's going on. And you talk to him, and he's like, he went and saw the Oracle, and the Oracle told him this prophecy about his parents. And so he's worried he's going to hurt his parents and kill his parents. So he's locked himself in here. And what he needs you to go do is find this woman in a bandit camp who has his birthright shield or something, or a shield he needs, and then go find this blacksmith who has a sword he needs, right? Because he wants to get these and give them to his parents pretty much to protect them. And you're like, all right, cool, got it, you weirdo. And I'm like, don't listen to the Oracle, the gods don't exist, whatever. I go over there, I go to the bandit camp, sneak in, kill everybody quietly, kill this woman, get the quest item, great. Go to the blacksmith. Get to the blacksmith, and immediately the blacksmith is flummoxed. And I'm Cassandra. I walk up and he's just like, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. He's not being creepy about it. He's like paying her comments and she's my Cassandra at least is feeling it. I'm vibing with him on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I need this sword. And he's like, Mythios or Mythios, you beautiful woman. I'd love to give it to you, but I can't just give away sword. You know what I mean? Like, and then it pops up with something to say. And then I had the heart, the basically the little seduce of her love. And I was like, I'll make it worth your while kind of thing. Right. And I'm like, I'll make it worth your while. And he's like, that would be incredible, and I would love to have that moment with you. And it was funny because when he walked up, I can't help you, I can't give you that sword, but I could work on your sword or your broken spear, because the broken spear is a big part of the game. And he's like, so I'll make it worth your while. It'll be a night you'll never forget, or whatever, day you'll never forget. And he's like, I would love that, Mythios. It'd be amazing or whatever, but like, how do I say this? My spear is broken too. And he's like, but just similar to the old one from our stream.
Oh,
but
my God.
there are some plants over there that if you get, they'll basically be Viagra for him. Like, and I'm like, all right, so then it cuts back to me, and I'm like, got it, go get the things, and then that'll fix your spear. I fix my sword, and like Cassandra starts stumbling over it too, because it's not. I was trying to tell Jen about it, and she was laughing the whole time, and I'm like, this isn't a weird prostitution thing. Like, Cassandra's totally in charge of her sexuality in this game and in charge of this scene. Where it's like, she's totally, what she wants to do with this guy is going to happen, whatever. Go off and get the things, come back, give him the plants or whatever. We make out, it does the fade out, fade back in, and he comes and he's just like, I'll never forget that. That was amazing. You're amazing. And she's like, oh, I know I'm amazing. Da, 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 you know what I mean? Like, you won't ever forget that. And walks away with the sword she needed, right?
Yeah.
Walks over back to the guys. This is actually the part of the story that I think is so great. Walks back to the cage dude. I'm going to paraphrase all this, obviously. But gets there and he's like, all right, I got your sword and I got your shield. And immediately the mom and dad are like, how did you get those? And I'm like, I killed the bandit and I had sex with the blacksmith. And this is all Cassandra's dialogue. She's just saying it. I'm not choosing it. I romance the dude. And the mom and dad are like, oh my God, what? And the son's like in the cage still. Like, what's wrong? And they turn to him and they're like, well, we didn't tell you, but you're adopted. And like, those things weren't stolen. They're your inheritance. And so Cassandra goes, so wait, you're saying, and the dad interrupts and goes, you fucked his father and you fucked his father and killed his mother. And the guy in the cage goes, oh my God! And he runs out of the cage away, and like the mom and dad are yelling at me. He runs away. I chase him just a few yards away, and I run up to him, and he's still screaming, and he's like, you had sex with my dad and killed my mom. I can't see this. I'm blind. And then the quest item, the reward I got for completing the quest was an eye patch.
Do you recognize the reference, right?
No.
It's Oedipus Rex.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
so-
why I got the eye patch for gouging out your eyes. He
Exactly.
says
Well, the
I'm
whole
blind.
thing, the killing the father,
Yep.
the sleeping with the mother, except reversed.
Yeah,
and then the
yeah,
eye
yeah,
patch.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I got really into when you're going all the way back to the beginning of the story, when you're like, there's a guy and he's been told he's going to kill his father and his mother, and then I was like,
right?
I got really excited. That's amazing.
And you get
that
the eye
they
patch,
did
and he's like, "I'm blind now." And again, this is what I've been talking about with this game, right? Is that it does such a great job of here's a myth or a story you've heard before that, like the Cyclops from the very beginning of the game, right? That you can understand through thousands of years would be twisted and mangled and become this thing, right? You can see the origins of it.
Yeah.
And there was this one great line though where, when he's in the cage and he's like, well, it's been revealed everything that's happened here. He's like, I don't understand. I was told my father would scream in agony, and it cuts to Cassandra. He's like, oh, it was an agony. I was like, yes, Cassandra.
So it's like a really
good.
dirty version of like Oedipus or Antigone or something.
Yeah.
I wonder if you'll get Antigone eventually, which is the end of that story. I wonder if that'll play
Interesting,
out.
I love how fucked up Greek mythology is.
Totally.
It's
so
mythology in
good.
general is delightful, but Greek
Yeah.
is especially so because you.
Oh,
Religious myths build on each other over like we think about them passing over thousands of years, but even then those myths got passed down over hundreds or sometimes thousands of years.
Yeah.
And so like that's why the gods act so capricious. Like sometimes like there'd be this idea that Zeus would gradually over time become more holy and distant, but when he was first conceived hundreds of years before, he was just like another guy. And so both those kind of coexist in that personality.
Yeah.
And it gives this incredible quality to the myth. I love it.
yeah, I think it's great. I just love Greek mythology. I'm just such a sucker for that whole mythos, that whole world. You
Yeah.
know, that's
Yeah.
probably why I like it.
And
yeah,
I
like
mean-
I read the Odyssey because I wanted to.
Yeah.
like, you
Awesome.
know,
Oh, nerd.
Yeah, I
Where do you
know.
fall in the
Doing your
Iliad?
homework.
I know. No, what?
Where do you fall in the Iliad?
I like it.
You like it? I could put
Yeah,
the
I
Odyssey
liked
better.
it. Yeah, actually, there are different. From what I haven't read them in a long time, but I remember the Odyssey is better structurally. It's like more grabbing when
I
you're
agree.
reading it throughout the whole time. But if you really stick through the Iliad, it has like much better elements.
Yeah, I prefer the Iliad even though the Odyssey's better written. I'm with
Right,
you
like
there.
the Odyssey is like more entertaining,
Uh-huh.
you could say. But if you like are persistent and stick through the Iliad, it's just actually better.
There's so much god stuff in the Iliad, and that's like the
Yeah.
gods are just showing up all the time, screwing with stuff, and I love that part of it. But,
yes, actually, now that we're talking about it, it makes me want to go back and read that because it's just I want to.
Well, now with
now I want
Assassin's
to.
Creed, there's a great excuse.
Yeah, now
for
there's
it.
a
I mean,
reason
that's-
to. And
Well, that's the weird thing about playing Assassin's Creed, and to put a pin in the point I'm driving at before, is the fact that I don't think I've ever played a video game that makes me go, man, I should really visit this place. Like
Yeah.
I'm playing and be like, man, Greece seems like an actually not like I know it's modern now, but I'm like Greece would actually be kind of cool to go visit now after seeing
Greece
all
is
this stuff.
amazing.
Yeah.
I was there. It's a long time ago now. I was there 10 years ago, and it was beautiful. It was a good time because it was right before all of the student riots and the
Sure.
government and the money collapse and the currency, all that.
Yeah.
The EU,
The turmoil.
the turmoil. Yeah, it was really like right before all that. So, but Greece is still gorgeous. It's a gorgeous place, and the islands are just like right out of a movie. Like you're there. When you're there, you just look at the architecture, look at the beaches and the water, and it's like you can't believe where
This is
you
real.
are.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's so incredible.
Well, it's a land of adventure. I mean, you've got these rocky islands and cliff towns that you couldn't really grow. You know, you could grow some grapes, maybe you could grow some olives. there wasn't a lot you could actually do to make a sustainable agricultural life for a large population. So you had to get in a ship. The one thing you had was water.
Yep.
And trade and commerce and conquest became the only ways to make a living. And that led to a culture of adventure.
Yeah,
You know, it's really cool.
And Greek people are very laid back. They're very fun. They're talkative. Like it's really a great place to go and meet people.
just chill.
Actually, and like if you're like somebody who wants to travel by yourself, even like Greece is probably a great place if you don't want to be alone because people are nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a really great experience. I highly recommend it.
But since Tuesday in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, right, I've turned this corner now where it's like my motivation, I've at least for the moment, checked the motivation of I have to beat this story. And instead what I'm doing is literally, I keep describing it as playing it like a season of Netflix.
Cool.
Where I pop in and I do a couple episodes and then I just pop out, right? Because I'm so into everything the game is doing.
Right.
Every storyline, every side quest, just going through and unlocking shit and discovering. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I keep saying, oh, it's great, and I'm eventually going to get there, and yada yada. I still worry. What if Red Dead comes out and does it even better?
Well,
and it is that I'm just writing and discovering
Then
there.
enjoy it right now. I mean, that's
Enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, Greek culture is really largely, ancient Greek culture is largely about discovery, and the myths are constantly about discovery. What's over the next hill? What's around the next corner? And it's just tailor-made for that, so why not enjoy it while you can? I do think, again, based on what you're describing versus based on what I've seen in Red Dead, that you're going to get a very different approach to that there. Enjoy what you're doing right now. You know?
Andy!
What?
Go ahead. Andy doesn't like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I want to have a conversation about that.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's good because I think that we've been having positive conversations about it. The only things I've heard are good. I want to hear the other side.
Yeah.
Please welcome to the stage, ladies
really
and
quick,
gentlemen, number one games journalist, Andy Cortez.
But really quick,
Yeah.
big spoiler, and you don't have to answer this.
Yeah.
Are there mythological creatures yet at all?
I'm not gonna answer that for you.
Oh,
Okay.
tell
Andy,
me later.
Everyone universally agrees Assassin's Creed Odyssey, fantastic game. You hate it. Why?
I don't hate it. I've never liked the series, and
Okay.
I think that plays a big part in it. Now, I know this game. I know Origins and Odyssey have, improved on what a lot of people had gripes with.
Yeah.
With prior versions of the game. I don't love the combat.
Okay.
I think it feels really loose and imprecise.
Okay.
I hate that. I always find myself comparing everything to God of War's combat, which felt so good and perfect and sharp, tight. This just doesn't feel good to me.
Okay.
And I really love how hard they leaned into the RPG aspects, though.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that's sort of giving me hope.
Because
But-
you were such a BioWare fan, right?
Yeah. And so going to this, it's like I love the setting. I'm enjoying the characters. I mean, I know you kind of gave me a little bit of shit for picking the male version. What's his Alexios? Everybody when I was streaming it, people were like, "Oh, his voice actor sucks." I don't think so. I think he's fine.
Yeah, it's not a performance issue. I just like the standard.
Got it.
I don't even know much about Alexios, to tell the truth.
Got it. Yeah, I'm just not in love with it, and it kind of breaks my heart.
That sucks, man.
Yeah, it does.
Sucks. You got
Does it
bad
really
taste in
break
games.
your heart? I mean, you just said you don't like Assassin's Creed.
But I just feel like everybody's so hyped on it, and I feel like I'm just the kid in the corner of the party drinking a Capri Sun instead of drinking the alcohol because he's scared that his parents are gonna try to smell his breath on the way back into the house.
Did that happen to you?
All the time. Yeah.
Really?
No, it's just my dad was always trusting of me, but when I got home, he'd always make sure he gave me a really close hug. I was like, all right, you're trying to smell if I smoked weed or something. Dad, back off, dude. I'm a cool kid who's drug free, man, because drug free is the way to be.
It's true. It's true. That's true.
Cool Greg says, yeah. And
we're all just busting out of these iced coffees all the time.
that's it. Yeah, it's just
They look good.
whatever.
Would you like what?
But Red Dead, can't wait for that, man.
After.
Oh yeah, that's
After.
right, Kevin. Give it to Andy.
Thank you.
We love Assassin's Creed, and he's wrong for having a different opinion. Boo.
Man, fuck you guys.
On my list for this week, I also got to start playing Ghostbusters World. Ooh. Very excited.
Greg.
Very excited.
Before you tell us about Ghostbusters World, I have to ask a question.
Sure.
Can I move this to the left a little?
Yeah,
Because
you
I'm
move
like
wherever
a
you want
dog that's hiding. I can't see myself.
I just want to keep reminding
Here,
people
put
to
it
watch the post. I'll put it right here if you want.
All right.
We can move it all the way over.
I usually like it there, but it's like when a dog hides under a curtain. We have this little monitor under the camera here that shows us.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to see it the whole show, and so I'm convinced I'm not on camera.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
It's
that makes
driving
sense.
me crazy.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, please continue. Sorry.
So I'm playing Ghostbusters World, the Pokemon Go knockoff. Worth pointing out, I'm playing pre-release code through the test flight thing on iOS. It's not, the full-blown game or whatever.
Right.
It still needs to get fully released. Yada, yada, yada. Every caveat there. I'll tell you what, I love this game.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I'm in the commercials. This is not part of this. And we're doing a sponsored Let's Play eventually for it. Full disclosure on all this. But this has nothing to do with that. But if you have to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, why do people like Pokemon Go, right?
Yeah.
It was fun to catch stuff and have something to do on your phone. I don't care about Pokemon.
Yeah.
I love Ghostbusters pretty clearly, and man, it's doing what I want to do.
Can you get me in on this so I can play with you?
Sure.
All right,
Yeah.
I'd love that.
Yeah,
Because
no
I
problem.
enjoyed Pokemon Go. I enjoyed it for the reasons you're describing,
Yeah.
and I like Ghostbusters more than Pokemon.
Sure. Do you want? Because here's my problem. This is the big problem I have. Right? Is that I want to make sure I have enough done so that when we do a Let's Play for it for party mode, because that's why we bought all this. We bought $600 worth of Ghostbusters costumes. If you're
Yeah,
not following us
yeah.
on social media,
That's a little ridiculous.
it's awesome. It'll all be up on Instagram and then whatever else. I would just wait for the final one because you can register right now,
Okay.
but it's like what I think they're targeting the 22nd or 25th or whatever.
They're just going to
that week
restart
of.
everything when the final
Exactly.
Okay,
my server,
fine.
my stuff's gonna get wiped.
Okay.
And so the biggest problem I have right now is that I want to play it like Kev played Pokemon Go, where I'm on the train and I'm just going through past every Pokestop or dimensional door here in Ghostbusters, but I don't want to do it till it's all gonna count and keep.
Makes
Kevin
sense.
Coelho from Kind of Funny. You have a question?
I just wanted to ask: have you talked to the devs and just asked them not to clear your server, like your
I haven't-
individual?
no,
'Cause
I
maybe
haven't
they
done that.
can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I still would rather just wait because I mean it's pre-alpha or pre-release code, so it is crashing every so often and doing different things. But I still did Pokemon Go on release or whatever. But I'm having fun because it is augmented reality. So
Yeah.
you go in there and like you can you have the camera on so the ghost is in the real world, or turn it off like you would in Pokemon and have it just in the little game world.
What
But
do
either-
you do?
I turned it off because it eats the
It
battery
eats the
faster.
battery, yeah.
The same thing. I remember it's like we've all learned enough from. I played Pokemon Go for a couple weeks. Like we learned enough there to bring it over here.
Like 2 days, you liar.
Is that true? I don't remember. I remember playing it with you.
For like 2 days.
No, I walked around the streets
outta
with Jen.
here.
I was
Shut
when I
your
first started
face.
dating Jen. Whatever.
What I really want to know about it is, are the capture mechanics fun?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because that's the thing. If you haven't paid any attention to any of the materials for Ghostbusters World, right? It's a little bit more active than Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
So what it is that the ghost is, around you, 360 degrees. When you start, if you start in augmented reality, you have to your phone's the PKE meter, so you find them. They appear. You switch to Proton Pack. You have to blast them. They can attack you. You have a health bar.
Okay.
So you have a counter button you need to hit to stop them. But you basically whittle them down to a certain point. Then you can throw out your trap. Then you have to hold them with your Proton Pack stream. Put them into the trap. It's just like Pokemon
When
Go.
the light
where-
is green, the trap is
Way
clean.
more involved.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be like Pokemon Go where the trap will wiggle for a second and they can pop back out and you have to go re-engage.
That's cool.
yeah,
That sounds fun.
It is. It is fun,
Yeah.
and it's all the stuff there that I just talked about. That's very clearly Pokemon. And then they also added a story mode in where basically you capture the ghosts in the Pokemon Go kind of side of it, and then you have a story mode that you can go in and you go in with teams of 4. And it's like a turn-based RPG.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Where you level these ghosts up, and then they fight other ghosts in the ghost dimension that bring you back more rewards and other ghosts and stuff like that.
Intrigued.
I love turn-based RPGs.
Right. Yeah. It's
I
written
am
by
such a sucker for
It's
those.
written by the people who write the IDW comics. It's got art from the IDW guys too and stuff. It's all very simple, but it's so far so good. Of like, this is interesting, and I'm going to play a shitload of this because like last night when I'm walking Porty, it was like, oh well, there's a dimensional door a little bit further, Porty. Why don't we walk a little bit further in the neighborhood?
Can we wrangle the same ghosts together? Like, can we team up?
Yes.
Okay.
So another thing they added, of course, is that you're going around and you're busting ghosts and you're getting them and you're leveling yourself up. You have different. They use the same names for like the boson cannon and stuff from
Okay.
the Ghostbusters 2008 video game.
Okay.
So you have different weapons for different ghosts, different mechanics, all that jazz. However, like right now, if I turn it on, I'm sure it's still there. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man's close by. And that's a raid boss.
Okay.
And so, like, what it would basically be is that we would all go over to him, right, and do it, and then you would join up into groups of 4.
Remind him that no one steps on a church in our town.
Exactly.
Okay, take care of that.
1, 2.
By the way,
roast 'em.
glad you brought up the Ghostbusters 2008 game. Great game, especially good on Wii, which was besmirched earlier.
Well, that
this
was a different
episode.
one. That was a different one.
Oh wait, was that 2000? I thought that was
No.
2008 game.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. PS3, 360, PC, one version of the game.
Right.
Wii, PS2, a completely different version that was also good.
Yeah, the Wii. I think the Wii version was better in that one. But
You're a crazy person, but I won't. So yeah, you see here, like, right, that's the dimensional door. There's a whole bunch in our neighborhood, which is super hot for me. Oh,
Okay.
there's a terror dog.
Oh, look at
Spooky.
But
Very spooky.
so see, you can see it's hard, but there's Stay Puft down the street.
okay.
So like he leaves in 7 hours, but we could all walk over there and fight him if we all had it and wanted to.
Oh, my
And so we
gosh.
would team up and blast him and then be able to do it.
Let's just all put this on our phones. Oh wait, is this going to be on Droid?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
That's important.
Yeah. So like I said, take it with a grain of salt because obviously we're working with them on a bunch of different stuff. But as a Ghostbusters fan, I'm totally in. I'm hoping it runs well upon release because that was the big problem with Pokemon Go right at release. Is that
Yes.
it crashed all the time and sucked. But
Where does
It
it
still
fall?
crashes all the time.
Yeah, it does.
oh yeah,
Yeah, it does.
I never played them.
Where does this fall in the pantheon of Ghostbusters games for you?
We'll see. We'll see when I get the final version. But right now it's like cool. I wish there was more customization options, all this different stuff. But like, I'm definitely gonna walk around like a moron and bust these ghosts. I was already doing it on the train today. Like I'm like spinning in circles on the Muni, doing this, trying to get him because you gotta actually tilt the camera, augmented reality. I want to give a shout out to Astro Bot Rescue Mission. Of course, this is the PlayStation VR game that is getting all the stellar reviews right now. People are calling it Mario 64. You looking for sugar in there?
Okay, so I'm really upset here right now because Kevin's like, these are unsweetened. There's no sugar. This has 3 grams of carbs in it.
Well, it says
How's that
unsweetened.
even
It does say
possible?
unsweetened,
Wait,
so
let
I
me-
I don't
understand.
know, but it's got 3 grams of carbs in it. That's like a sixth of my daily carbs right there.
Sorry, brother.
Oh man, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're not at all. I was making
It's
sure
like
you're okay.
really weird because there's only coffee in it. There's like only water and coffee. Does that mean that coffee has
Well,
carbs?
coffee can have a little bit of carbs in it, but typically that's a lot of carbs for coffee. I'm just very.
It just doesn't make any sense. It
I
just
don't
says
know.
water and coffee.
I'm really interested in what's going on here.
3 carbs
It's a
in
mystery.
water and
I
coffee.
don't know anything about any of this stuff.
I'm going to investigate this
Listen.
Okay,
because
good.
coffee's particularly keto friendly most of the time. You
Yeah.
can have quite a bit of coffee. Yeah,
Maybe it's the cardboard. Maybe they put cardboard in it.
I don't know what it is. Isn't that confusing?
It's really confusing. It
Tell me.
doesn't actually make sense. I'm sorry to do.
I'm
This
not.
is
I love it. Don't worry
putting
about
this
it.
down.
I played Astrobot. Played through the first world of Astrobot, which is similar to what I had played at Judges Week.
Okay.
Still awesome. I am going to go back to this one, but again, it was last night. Assassin's Creed was pulling on my coattail of wanting me to go play that. But jumping in, it's I still think Astrobot's really cute. I still think it uses the PSVR in an ingenious way. I think it's just cool to play a platformer where you have more agency. Or I guess you're used as puzzles, right?
Yeah.
Where I think the easiest thing is midway through the world you're introduced to your controller is visible the whole time, right?
Right.
And when you need to do stuff, you put it in and they'll upgrade your controller like in the 3D space. One of the things they give you is a grappling hook.
Yeah.
And so you grapple out and you pull down walls, which is expected, but then you also grapple out and the Astrobot you're controlling walks on your high wire and you can like springboard him up to land on other stuff or to get coins or to get the Astrobots he's rescuing, or you can make it tight ropes and walk all these different
I'm really
things.
excited about that. I like games that have a physical dimension to them. I
Yeah.
mean, again, I promise I'm not getting stuck on the Wii thing, but we were talking about that earlier. One of the things I liked about Wii were things like WarioWare Smooth Moves,
Yeah.
where it's a hot potato mode. You've got like 10 people in a room. You're all passing the controller around and putting it on the floor and holding it up like this. And Astrobot kind of tickles that same itch in a very unique way.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about it.
I
Yeah,
hate
it's
the Wii.
super cute and it's
Can't
fun
say
and I
that.
want to get back to it. So I'll play more eventually, kind of, probably, but there's too much stuff.
The PSVR, I have a question about.
Yeah.
Do you like it? Like
I
in
love it.
general,
I love PlayStation VR.
like honestly, you love it.
Yeah, I mean, what
Interesting.
I go down, what I've talked about before is, I think PlayStation did for once a really great job of, hey, here's the expectation. This is a brand new piece of hardware. It's going to be a lot of experiences. We're all learning together. Shuhei was on a tour being like, this is PS1. We're at PlayStation 4 right now. This is PS1.
Right.
And so I think that did a great job of introducing the concept and then gave us a lot of cool experiences. And so it's that thing of I have knowing I'm only going to use, when I bought
A
it,
few
I'm only going
times.
to use it a couple times every other month or whatever, a few months, right?
Yeah.
And now I feel like Firewall is such an amazing game. Kevin and I can't wait to get back. There's new DLC coming in November, right? Astrobot's awesome. Super Hot's amazing. I can't wait for Tetris Effect.
Super Hot's
like,
cool. I've played Super Hot before.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Beat Saber, like when Beat Saber drops on there, right? Like,
yeah,
that's
that's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
makes
you're
me
not a
wanna-
believer.
No, it's not that I'm not. I wasn't sure if I wanted to actually purchase a VR, like a PSVR headset. I just didn't know what to experience to expect out of it, or if I should, upgrade my graphics card and
Yeah.
get like a real, either an Oculus headset or
Sure.
like a HTC Vive or
Yeah, I mean,
like
for me, it's being such a console guy, right? I don't even have a gaming PC at home. That it was.
Right.
I love that it was such a cheap entry point. I love that it's being supported.
I like that it is an affordable entry point into
Yeah.
VR, and it seems like a lot of the better games are going to PSVR.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
so
That's the thing. Right now,
cool.
you can't. It's so hard to be platform like exclusive anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was something we were talking about on Games Daily today, oddly enough. But we were talking about how if you're going to make a top 10 list of the best PSVR games now, nothing's a stretch anymore. Now it's like, here are 10 really great video games
Yeah,
to play on
they're-
this thing. The investment is now justified by the available software, which wasn't always true.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's something that I like toy around with eventually wanting to get or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I might. I like VR a lot.
There's a great show called The PlayStation VR Show on kindafunny.com. You should check
Oh,
it
yeah.
out. You see 8
Also, you love
episodes. of
Tetris,
awesome.
and Tetris Effect is
I
coming.
cannot wait for Tetris Effect.
I love Tetris. So
Mizuguchi, save us.
Oh,
Yeah.
Area X was so awesome. Also, Super Hypercube, shout out. That game's awesome.
Great, good point too. Yeah, and I didn't say Moss. Moss is another PlayStation VR game. Just incredible. Like that's all right, cool. Like we're finally getting to where the games are games. It isn't just hey, here's an experience. You know what I mean? Here's
Yeah.
a 2-hour thing. Well, I guess Moss actually kind of.
I do like the experiential things though.
Oh, totally.
Like,
And I'm
there's
not
like
taking away from them.
There's like a cooking experience the Vive has.
Sure.
That was so much fun. I don't know if you played the cooking demo where you have
No.
to like make stew.
Okay.
I never
That
played
was
that.
so much fun. I just wanted to make virtual stew all day.
What made it fun?
you're cooking. You're like you're like sitting there with your little controllers, and you're like, I'm cutting a tomato. So, like,
It's happening.
I thought that was the coolest. I like picked up the eggs and I like threw it at the wall, and the egg broke, and like I was like, these are eggs. This is amazing.
No, dude, that's when VR works the best. Is when the thing you would take for granted in a real game works the way it would in real life.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I love that.
There's a game called Blood and Truth coming up on PlayStation VR soonish.
Yeah.
And my first demo ever, I was crouched down behind a pool table, and somebody threw a grenade, and I heard it go thunk thunk, and I stood up, grabbed it, and threw it back at them. And it was that thing of like, holy shit! Like I did it like a second nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
like, how am I going to do this? You just did it, and it was like, wow, that's fucking crazy.
That moment for me, I was really weird. I'm an old man, and a long time ago in arcades across America, there was this company that brought these like Volkswagen-sized machines that had VR headsets attached to them, and you could pay like $5 in the arcade and play VR for like 5 minutes. And this is like super primitive, blocky VR. You were driving a mech around or fighting a pterodactyl, but even then, it was mind-blowing. Like, it was impressive that throw the egg world, that, oh my gosh, I'm in here thing was really striking. The thing that really brought that feeling back for me was when I got a chance to spend like a week playing with a HoloLens. Microsoft's weird little PC.
AR, is it the AR?
Yeah, and the way Microsoft views AR and VR, I feel that they don't see as much of a line of distinction as we do between those, I think. But it's an AR headset. I'm in my living room, and there's this Bubsy demo. And the thing like scans my living room,
So cool.
and then Bubsy pops out, and I control him by looking. Like everywhere I look, Bubsy goes. But he knows where my sofa is, but not just where it is. Like he climbs up the side, he gets to the edge, and he teeters a little bit till he gets up the cushion, climbs up the cushion just right, hits the wall, backs against the wall, slides
God.
and runs under my table. I can't see him through the table legs, weaving around, like, and I'm controlling him dynamically while he's doing this, and I'm like, this is from outer space. This is not real.
That's the thing I'm the most excited about, AR stuff. I think it's going to be so cool. And like back on some nerdy shit, I really want to see where it's used in educational settings. Like I imagine like learning about molecular biology and stuff could be way more interesting if we could see atoms in front of us, or like can you imagine when you're a kid learning about animals or dinosaurs and like see a dinosaur in your classroom or something like that? Just could be mind-blowing for kids.
I always go back to, right, like I remember, do you remember the first time you went to like the planetarium and like they did that thing where you kind of reclined and looked and they're like, this is the solar system. Like that shit's amazing, and it was so limited and few and far between.
No, I went to a planetarium with my wife, and it was the first time she'd been to one in like decades, and this was before the accident even. And we're done with this like half-hour planetarium like thing, and I look over and she's crying, like she's like, it's all so beautiful, space is awesome. And I was like, I love you so much. But it can have that effect.
I love that.
Maybe there's going to be an Oregon Trail of AR one day. Or VR.
Sure.
I hope so. I want that to happen.
Yeah, I think it's just so magical. I'm the same way in planetariums. I like could cry looking at fake space. I just think it's amazing. So I can't wait to see where it goes. And I haven't had a chance to try any of the HoloLens stuff, but I really hope I do, because I think it's just gonna blow my mind. I'm just really excited.
I like you a lot.
I just identify. I just like, the feels.
Jared.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of coming from outer space.
Indeed.
You've been playing a little bit of Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah.
But most importantly on Google Project Stream.
Google Project Stream. I got in. I was really, really lucky. And yes, you want to talk about that?
Talk about mind-blowing technology.
Holy crap. All right. So yeah, we showed a little bit of this in the pre-show that we just slapped together.
Patreon.com/kindoffunnygames.
And there I'm playing on a bad Wi-Fi connection on my literally $100 netbook, which I've dropped several times and is running on, I think like Weird Al Yankovic said, running on a Dorito.
Gotcha.
But I was at home last night and I played about an hour of Project Stream's Assassin's Creed Odyssey demo, or pardon me, full game. I haven't played Odyssey yet. I was wired. I was on a decent PC. I was playing in browser. And I swear, Greg, I couldn't have told the difference.
Really?
I mean, I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. And it was so darn simple. They're like, do you have an Ubisoft account? I'm making a Ubisoft account. Pop in there on Chrome, but bam, opens up,
You're
game
there.
starts, in,
Awesome.
working. Controller, plug in a USB controller, works. seamless, beautiful,
And just in a tab.
and
Was there like a lot of loading time? Did you have to, like download it or anything like that?
Nothing.
No?
That was what blew my mind. I'm like,
It was
and
just streaming.
It's just opening. It's effectively a tab. It automatically full screens. You hold down escape whenever you want to like reduce it. It freezes the game, and
Yeah.
But you can pick up. It's literally like, do you play or out? Like it gives you an option, and it just works. It
That's
works.
so crazy.
It's so yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say game streaming is gonna be so cool. Like Netflix of gaming. That's what I want.
Well, I think that's what we're looking at here. I
Yeah.
mean, they've been, obviously something's going on. The fact that it works this well, I think, tells us a few things. One, I've always thought that ever since the rumors started coming out that Google was among the best positioned companies on earth to actually pull this off if they were interested in doing it. They were so big that I wondered if they were interested in doing it. Because, but unlike most of the other players in this space, Google has a hand in how the backbone, the physical backbone of the internet is put together.
Right, like the actual technology.
Exactly.
They are the I don't know.
Servers and routers and
Yeah.
pipelines, and they're tied into that stuff.
mainframe.
Exactly. The mainframe. Exactly. Wherever that big
Everything
computer in the
goes
back
through
room
Google.
is. But the
Yeah,
stuff
this
that
is
is coming to your house is through. They have a hand in how that's all put together.
Yeah.
It looks to me like in this test, it's very clear that they have laid backbone. They wouldn't have showed us this if they weren't ready to reveal something soon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very clear from how well this works that they have laid backbone that's going to make this practical. That they have the hardware backbone to support their software ambitions, and they've got the software compression technology to make this work. Plus the fact that they were able to go to Ubisoft and be like, your brand new video game that's just coming out, we're going to give it away free to people and highlight it as the way to show our, this could have been like nothing to take away from Undertale, but this could have been Undertale.
Sure.
But it's not. It's Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
They're
And-
making a point, right? Here's a brand new AAA game that runs incredibly well.
And they had to sell that to Ubi,
Yeah.
which means they probably had to give them a peek at what the tech looks like and convince them that this was something they wanted to attach their name to.
And a bunch of money.
Right.
Exactly. And probably a bunch of money. Exactly. I
Infinite
think
Google money.
I don't know if Google's going to succeed or not in this, but I think this portends a bold future where games become more available to more people. This is, I hate saying this. It's almost saying it's the souls of something, but this is maybe the beginning of Fortnite Part 2, where Fortnite is every game, where we can just play video games wherever we want, with whoever we want.
I mean, I think that's why Fortnite's successful. If you look at like the player numbers, it's largely mobile. Like that's why it's the most played game.
Yeah.
iPad, kids on iPads, man.
Well, I mean, that's the
Taking
whole,
over the world.
For me, this is coming right on the heels of, or in the same, I guess, thing of Project X Cloud from Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too, where when we talked about Project Stream on Kind of Funny Games Daily, then the next 2 to 3 days or whatever was, hey, it's X Cloud, and then the next day, an audience member wrote in to be like, hey, just a heads up that like Microsoft's using Azure and all this other stuff, and like. Whereas Google's number 7 in terms of like best streaming, they're number 1. Like they, in terms of you're talking about backbone and mainframe and having the power to do this, Microsoft also extremely well positioned to make this actually be a huge fucking deal.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think. Oh, go ahead, Sam.
No, continue.
I feel like Microsoft's strength is that we associate them with gaming already.
Yeah.
And that they have an remember how many things Microsoft managed to drop when they were still learning how to get in the gaming space. I mean, they did remarkably well despite that. But there was a learning curve for Microsoft.
Yeah.
Dreamcast helped with that some with the Windows CE port and all that. But it took a while to learn it all. Google's gonna have to learn all that stuff too. They are not a gaming company. And so they're gonna have to go through their own internal culture adaptation to decide if they really want to do this. But I think that Microsoft has the advantage of we think games when we think Xbox.
Yeah.
But I think Google is probably better positioned in terms of, Microsoft's tied into the tech, but that hardware backbone stuff, I think, is more going to fall in Google's back
think
pocket
so?
than Microsoft's. Okay. Well, I mean, Microsoft's a tech company in a lot of ways, and they're heavily invested in this as well. But I think that as Americans, we might overemphasize sometimes Microsoft's place in that space and underemphasize Google's. Google's so much in a background part of our lives that we sort of forget how much they do. Mm-hmm. How far do we get in a day that we don't use a Google product?
I think that like accessibility to that type of technology for players is the key part, right? Like Google will make a product that's accessible to anybody, right? Whereas like, will Microsoft be able to offer that experience of game streaming without any barricades?
Yeah.
Like blockers, you know what I mean?
I honestly think they will. And I think that's why their pitch, obviously Google, Project Stream, their pitch of it, hey, it's in a browser right now. Obviously, this can go anywhere and do anything, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The fact that xCloud came out and it was like, here's an iPhone running it on, an Xbox controller, and here's a tablet using it, here's a TV, and here's this. Like, I think Xbox is what I was saying too, is like it's going to be more on Nintendo to decide if they want it on Switch.
But the crazy thing about Chrome is that you can use it anywhere. Like I have Chrome on my phone. I can have Chrome on any tablet. I can have Chrome on any computer. I can have, it's just like.
I totally get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, at this point, the test is only Chrome and desktop, but they're absolutely going to phone it.
Right. Like, the idea is that it could potentially, eventually.
I don't think there's no reason to do There's literally no reason to do this in any desktop.
They're probably at Google. They're probably like on their phones with Chrome playing games.
But you're right. And I don't want to take away from Microsoft, by the way. Microsoft pushes technology innovations in amazing ways, and I think they could pull this off. I just think maybe in terms of positioning, Google might be in a little better spot. But I don't know, because again, Microsoft, they've got so much to fight for. I mean, they're staking that next generation on some pretty innovative ideas. They've been very clear about that already. The Xbox One is not in many ways as exciting a piece of hardware as I'd like it to be, largely based on dropping the ball that first year.
Yeah.
But everything they're doing right now for their next gen looks really, really smart.
It's because they've been building this foundation that easily ports over. I mean, think about it that way, right? Like, cool, we are launching Google's Project Stream. It's Assassin's Creed. And then you start having those questions of like, wow, that's awesome. I wonder what their storefront would look like. Who would do this? Who would and wouldn't join them? Right? Think of Xbox with this xCloud, right? It's literally going to be cool. xCloud is up and running. All of Game Pass works with it. All of backwards compatibility works with it. You have 2 generations of games to play right now that you can stream through our server farms using Azure Tech in 52 countries or 52 areas. Like they've laid this all down, and they just need to pull this trigger.
And they also have another advantage Google wouldn't have, in that they have years and years and years of third-party relations to lean on. They have specialists in their building who are like, I'm the third-party guy. And when they go to Ubisoft, they have the Microsoft first-party guy that they talk to, and they talk back and forth, and they have a relationship. Google has to build all that from the ground up. They have to build all those partnerships. They got to learn how to manage that stuff in a space that they've never navigated before, and that's going to require a lot of work. On the other hand, Google can probably already look and be like, hey, how do we establish trust? Well, we're the company that, you look and you go, look at all these small developers right now that are having discovery problems with this oversaturated marketplace. Google is a discovery company.
Yeah, I mean, also they just have that money.
Yeah, they have that money, but like their main product, that when we say Google it, it's how you discover things.
Yeah.
In a market where like we can't find games, where there's too many games to find, Google could be like, independent developers, we are here to solve your problem. And they could build on that. And that'd be an incredible resource for them to fill their marketplace early on, where they're still building these relationships, and make themselves the curator of a new kind of store. I'm very excited. Sorry, Sam.
Yeah, no, it's all interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And Microsoft likewise.
The only problem I have right now is the fact that it's all happening at once, like in 1 week. I really wish it was spaced out. I don't like already being like, well, who's going to win? Like, is this a thing where there can only be one? Do they need to? What's PlayStation going to do?
I don't know. We've got Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon right now, and that's several years into the streaming wars. And they haven't all become one giant Disney-esque entity that have eaten the others quite yet.
Sure.
So I don't think it's going to. Very rarely is the person who does it first the person who ultimately.
Well, I mean, that's the thing though. But don't even jump to that conclusion, right? Like, think of On Live. This is built on a whole bunch of people's skeletons. On Live, you know, what was formerly known as Gaikai. Like, there's a whole bunch of people who have been trying to crack this for a while. So it's not like this came out of nowhere.
True. It's not like but I mean, are they Facebook or are they MySpace? We don't know yet.
Sure.
And I don't know, what I see here in front of me just made me go,
whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We got to play it on the pre-show. That was my first time using it. And like Andy was saying, he felt a little bit of lag. I don't know if you I know Sam were playing off the big TV.
Yeah, I think that was the mirror.
Looking at the source here on the Chromebook or whatever, playing with a controller, and somebody who's played a ton of Assassin's Creed, sure, it felt maybe like nanoseconds. Like, but the game was 120% playable and totally the way it felt the way it feels.
And when I played it wired last night, I was
Yeah, and that was the other thing
not
too.
an issue.
We're playing on not a great computer, on not a great Wi-Fi, while we're uploading and streaming and doing all these other things. Like it wasn't like ideal situations. But even then, that's what we're talking about, right? Like I can't wait to get to the point where I'm in a hotel room in New York and I want to play something AAA and it's not the end of the world, right? Like,
Yeah,
where
it's
you're,
like right there. It's
you can't even
accessible.
fucking upload things like for work out of the hotel.
How much would you
Well-
pay for it? Because that's one of the things I've thought about. Is like there's several ways they could approach this. In an ideal universe, what Google does, and I can't. I don't know how money works at all.
Sure.
Because I don't have any.
Sure.
But in the ideal universe that I like to imagine, they do what they do with Google Docs.
Just give it away?
The games, they find a way to fund the games that
That'd
doesn't.
be insane.
But
I wouldn't be surprised if they did something, not maybe like one game a month, just like AAA
Yeah, they'll
free.
find ways to make that work. I mean, that's the old, because you used to have to go to pay $100 for Microsoft Office if you wanted to use it, and now we
Oh,
just
yeah,
get it
yeah.
for free. Remember what
Yeah.
if eventually it shifts to that where the game more and more games are just free through the service? That'd be unreal.
That would be crazy. I mean, that kind of goes back to what I was going to say before when you were like, the Fortnite effect. How do like games become Fortnite? Make them free.
Yeah, totally right.
Why is League of Legends popular? It's free.
Yeah. But
Pokemon Go, right?
I'd pay a lot of money for this. Right
Yeah.
now, I would pay a lot of money for this.
Yeah, I mean, create experiences that people enjoy, that they stick around for, and then hit them with those cool microtransactions.
Yep.
Everybody
Also,
loves a good microtransaction.
Unashamedly, I love you, Greg. I said this in the pre-show, but Google, if you want to hire me to come work on this, not that I have any marketable skills whatsoever, but if enthusiasm is enough, Greg, I'm out of here.
Well, you
tomorrow
definitely have enthusiasm in
if they call.
spades, so I don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, the internet's not that great, and this, that, and the other, and I feel like those are all such now problems. In a year and a half, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, like when 5G Wi-Fi is everywhere, like, hopefully.
You mean like 8G?
Knock on wood, yeah, right. Like, I don't see that being an issue, and especially, again, how it's running right now on suboptimal conditions. I can't wait.
I feel like there's a good chance that, it's dangerous to predict the future. Nobody's a fortune teller. But I think that you get a feeling when you see something that's going to make a difference. And you're just like, wow, this is really something special.
Like HoloLens. That I think is like the coolest thing that exists right now.
It's just awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really cool.
And this has an even more powerful effect than that for me.
Oh, wow. That's a big statement.
Yeah.
But
Me too. I
it's
mean,
cool.
like that's the thing. I mean, somebody who's entrenched in PlayStation and trophies and all this shit, right? Like, and like, I don't like PC gaming. I don't want to. It's because this takes for this to be PC gaming from here on out, or in some degree, right? Eliminates my biggest problem with PC gaming, which is when my drivers don't work and my graphics card's not compatible, and I have to troubleshoot some error code. And If somebody on the other end is taking care of it on a supercomputer, I don't mind this not being as graphically intense. You know what I mean? Like I don't mind. That's not what I'm playing games for, and that's when it gets really interesting. Again with Microsoft xCloud. Yeah, if I could play it on my phone, if I could play it on my tablet, if I could play, Jen wants to watch something on Netflix, and I just put it onto this thing, like. That is a legitimate game changer where suddenly I'd be like, well, fuck, where am I going to play this
The
game?
only problem we
Yeah.
had with this was the controller wasn't working, and that was because Kevin handed me a controller that was synced to the Xbox in the office.
Yeah.
And
That
was
sounds like a
connecting
you
with it and
problem.
turning it on.
Yeah.
The moment we grabbed a controller and plugged it in, it worked perfectly.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Jared, you reviewed Luigi's Mansion.
yeah, I did. Isn't that weird?
That's very weird.
I love Luigi's Mansion.
Expound.
I love that game so much.
Mario.
Yeah, first of all,
Mario.
Luigi is the better brother.
Agreed.
I'm with you.
Agreed.
Like, hands down.
Were you sad when the year Luigi turned into a grease fire?
What was that year?
Do you remember the year of Luigi? That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
I
was
think.
it 2016,
The
2015?
year the Wii U was going to do well and then didn't.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't pay attention to the Wii U very much, sadly.
Okay.
So even the year Luigi passed you by, you didn't even know.
Yeah, I didn't even
It's
know.
heartbreaking. Nobody
That's
did.
okay. No one else did
nobody
either. That's why I can't remember what year it
just
was.
Really passed me by. So I love Luigi. I just love that game so much. I played it on 3DS. I played it on my GameCube when I was, a kid. I don't know what year that came out on GameCube,
Okay.
but I loved it.
What do you love about it? What makes you happy about
It's
it?
like, it's spooky in a very cute way. And I just love like sucking up ghosts with a vacuum cleaner. How stupid is that? It's so much fun.
Oh, it's a great Ghostbusters game. The
Yeah.
the
You
sucking
goddamn
up the
right
ghost
it is.
mechanic works really, really well.
The ghost
That's-
thing is so fun.
Yeah,
I just
that's
love
the
it.
best
I
part
just
of
love
the
it. It's just it's hard to say exactly what it is about it. That's so much fun.
Well, now
I
you
mean,
can play it again.
it was a
Booze?
wholesome, adorable game.
Yeah, it's-
right. Where it
it's-
was, it was the correct level of spooky, like you're talking about, where
Yeah,
you
it's
could
like-
wander around and have fun in it.
It reminds me of, in Super Mario 64 on the Nintendo 64, there's that basement, and there's like a spooky world that you can go into, and there's all the booze and the mansion and all that. And I loved that as a kid. I thought that was so cool and magical, and I thought it was so funny that you're wandering the castle, and then all of a sudden you follow this little ghost into a garden,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it's like you're an upside down world, and there's this crazy haunted mansion, and you're running around all these like levels and stuff. And I loved that experience. I think that was probably what inspired Luigi's
I
Mansion.
think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's really why I like Luigi's Mansion, is because I loved. There's like a magical nostalgia thing happening there with that level.
With that kind of
I think.
spooky. No, the spooky
Yeah.
Mario's fun. When Mario gets spooky, it's great.
Yeah,
all the way
I
back
love-
to the ghost house in Mario World.
Yeah.
No, if I could make any game for Nintendo, I think I'd want to make a game where you play as a Boo, like play as a Teresa. I think that would be an
Yeah.
amazingly fun game to make.
You gotta
Boo
wait for
game.
people to turn their back
Yeah,
on you.
yeah,
We
Yeah,
don't
right.
need
Yeah.
another Toad game. Make a Boo game.
All right, let's not get crazy here. All right, Treasure Tracker was amazing. All right, let's not. Okay, let's
Also,
not
you even said Captain
It's
Chode this
okay.
morning.
I did
but-
say Captain Chode today by
Yeah,
accident.
yeah.
Oh my God.
What are we gonna do? It happened.
Little tongue slip
This
there.
Luigi Mansion, it holds up. This is the
It's
3DS remake.
It's the 3DS remake of the original Luigi's Mansion. It's done by Grizzo. It is Luigi's Mansion. It is take the GameCube Luigi's Mansion you remember, shove it into a 3DS, and that's what it is. With all its strengths and faults. For the most part, I had a really good time with it. It does show its age in terms of some of the game design. There's more backtracking that I'd like for not necessarily great reasons on occasion. Some of the puzzles can be a little obtuse and a little frustrating there. Control, they give you a couple options. I was using the nub on the new 3DS, which is not always ideal, but you can also use motion, which actually works pretty well.
Okay.
And they use things like the Game Boy Horror. You can use the motion controls to look through like this AR style, and it's fun.
I like that a lot.
They
was
nailed
fun.
that. They nailed that with the. You can actually use the motion to use it now, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But by and large, it's a fun, short, pretty well put together adventure game. The main part I got ticked at, like the final boss fight requires a little more precision control, and the DS controls aren't really up to it.
Gotcha.
Because they are not the GameCube controller.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not fighting Bowser / King Boo here. I'm fighting the controller.
You're fighting the controller, yeah.
But that didn't happen too much. I give it a 7, which is a good on the IGN scale.
Sure.
And I think that's in my opinion, that's a very reasonable assessment of this game.
Wasn't there a multiplayer mode of that where you can locally play with somebody else?
That's the one big change.
Yes.
So yes, there's a multiplayer mode. You play as Luigi's ectoplasmic avatar, Gooigi.
Luigi.
Yeah, it's Gooigi. He's a big green Luigi. And I played with Brian Altano. He and I played together through the first act of the game that way. And we had a pretty good time. There's some frame/lag stuff there, but it's not too bad.
Okay.
I also don't want to pretend it's not there, but it's noticeable, but it didn't interfere with our enjoyment. And Gooigi is, my favorite part is you can team up on the ghost grabbing.
Oh,
so you can
nice.
both lock onto the same ghost and take them down way quicker. That's a lot of fun. Gooigi is kind of like the little brother character. If one character goes in another room, Gooigi magically appears there, so you can't separate too
Gotcha.
much. It's kind of like, hey, I'm playing with my kid. You be Gooigi, kid.
Gotcha.
And that way, and you're a little, it's not as hard for Gooigi.
Yeah.
Life is more easy for Gooigi. I like
Is that a subhead in your article? Because it should be.
No,
Yeah.
the subheads are
Life is easy to be
are
Gooigi.
Honorable Mansion,
It's real good.
The Year of Gooigi, and or The Fear of Luigi, pardon me,
Okay.
and Super Gooigi Brothers. But
Super Gooigi Brothers.
Yeah.
Very nice, Jerry.
Honorable
Very nice.
Mansion, I was
that.
very proud
That's
of.
really good. I like that.
Yeah,
thanks.
that's very good.
I'm not good at puns, so you
No,
gotta-
yeah, those are some good puns. I'm
thank
proud of you.
Thank you.
And then
Appreciate
just
that.
moments ago,
yeah.
Earth Defense Force
I played
arrived in the office.
Yeah, just arrived. I played two small parts of two Earth Defense Force games: Earth Defense Force 5, Earth Defense Force Iron Rain. Either y'all ever played EDF?
Nope.
I tinkered. I never got super into it. I remember Brudvig and Clayman were obsessed with EDF at
Yeah.
IGN when I was working there.
EDF is like, have you ever played any of these?
Nope.
Okay, so EDF is like what I imagine video games would be like when I was a kid. I was like, when I grow up, this is what video games are going to be. Instead of using the raw processing power of like a PlayStation 4 Plus to create beautiful spellbinding graphics and photorealistic like rendering, they're like, what if instead we created like 10,000 giant space wasps and huge frog monsters and sent them all to kill you at once?
Okay, cool.
It's all about, it's like playing Robotron in 3D.
Okay, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it is.
You'd be
Yeah,
like, well,
that
it's not
sounds
going to
fun.
look that good. It might chug at times, and everybody's going to be like, we don't care.
Yes.
That's all we want to do is blast bugs.
That's
Thank you,
it.
sir.
Destructible
Bug
entire
blaster.
like every environment's destructible. Every building can be blown up in these giant cities. Flying saucers by the dozens descending on you. Hundreds of giant ants eating your face. Things screaming. Terribly cheesy voice acting. I told my dream in life is to be a voice on the radio. In
Oh,
EDF.
wow, really?
Like, yeah, that'd be perfect. To like just be like, they're coming! Ah! Like, I want to do that so badly. Yeah, it's
Squashing bugs.
and both of these games, one by Sandlot, who made the last one, and the other by Ukes, who make the
Ukes.
Yep, Ukes is
Didn't
working on
expect
Iron
that
Rain.
one.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that
so
one.
5 is coming out in December. There's no date yet on the Ukes game, which is Iron Rain, which is designed. It has some differences.
I was going to say, when you played them, could you tell the difference?
Yes,
What are
they're
the-
both
okay.
very much EDF games. 5 feels like EDF 4 left off. And EDF 5 is like, here's EDF, but with more cities, more bugs, new enemies, new flying saucers, more giant kaiju, more there are 1,000 weapons in this game.
Oh, wow.
That's EDF. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, one weapon? No, 10 let's have 1,000 weapons. There's a moment I'm playing, and they're like, and now we're going to call in the Gundam. And I'm like, what? And like, Pacific Rim style, like a Jaeger flown in by helicopters, like flies slowly in and just drops down next to me, and then I climb up into it, and it's great. It's so dumb and wonderful and fun.
I like dumb games.
Yeah, there needs to be more.
Then the Ukes
Yeah.
game was set in San Francisco, the part I played.
I don't like that.
It's more
That's disrespectful to me.
three-dimensional, where you're smashing down buildings there. And that one has like a more photorealistic kind of like grimy quality to it, but I really liked it. It felt like an EDF game still, but a little more focused, but still very, very well put together,
Okay.
very destructive.
Did you see the hints of the WWE 2K series in there?
I saw.
Did someone rock bottom
everything.
a bug?
No,
No? Okay.
but I did fight a giant kaiju and kill it. Like a huge giant, like Godzilla monster,
Yeah.
and a bunch of giant scorpions. And it had a little more gravity, but it still very much felt like an EDF game.
Okay.
So both of them were really good, and that's the long EDF rant. If you never played these games, I can't recommend enough. The Vita EDF, I love.
I remember the Vita one. I played a little bit of that. Yeah.
And yeah, I think Sam, I recommend you try these. They're great. They're like if Dynasty Warriors didn't suck.
Will they be on Switch?
These two are PS4 only, I believe.
Okay,
at
well,
this
I
point.
have a PS4 and I love my PS4.
Well, here's a what do we call them? Not bad game, but like a B movie game for you to get in there and play. You
I
know
like
what
B
mean?
movies, too.
I feel like that always describes Earth Defense Force well.
Also, what I said about Dynasty Warriors, I need to clarify. Some of the Dynasty Warrior games are excellent. It's
Yeah.
just the ones that aren't good. So I shouldn't have put it that way.
You're a
like
monster,
the Gundam game was
and you're
really
turning,
good,
yeah.
and Hyrule Warriors was cool, and some of the Luigi games are cool, and yeah, didn't mean to crap on Dynasty Warriors. They're actually pretty good.
You call those games not me? What's the M word you call those?
Which ones?
For the style of game, Dynasty Warriors is
I
the
don't know,
genre of
because
game.
I'm being unfair. It's not like Dynasty Warriors. It's like
No, I know.
giant bug
It's
simulator.
It's
Looking
different.
for a word.
I don't remember.
Maya Mas.
I'm not going to remember this.
It's a Japanese word. This is
I
like
don't speak Japanese.
God damn it. Cool, Greg.
I speak more ancient Greek than I do Japanese.
I assumed Kevin prepped you to play the song, right? Jared, I think it's time for a lovely round of mobile gamer bullshit. It's mobile game or bullshit. It's mobile game or bullshit. Jared's gonna read some stuff and we'll figure out if it's over game or not. Jared, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's category, mobile game or Magic the Gathering. That's
Okay.
right. These are either mobile games or Magic the Gathering card set / cards.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to read you the names. I'm going to read descriptions. Some of the descriptions are sentences taken from the real description of a mobile game. Some of the
Okay.
sentences are made up by me
Okay,
to sound like that.
So wait, I just need a run of the rules
Yeah,
again.
so rules are very simple. I will read the name. I will read the description. You will tell me mobile game or bullshit.
Okay.
Greg will
Mobile
do the
game or
same.
bullshit?
Yeah, mobile game or Magic the
Magic the
Gathering.
Gathering thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
but
So it might be a Magic the Gathering thing.
correct. It's
One
either,
of the
it's
two.
either going to be the title of a mobile game or the title of a Magic the Gathering thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's it.
Okay.
And that's all we got here. Ready?
You're like ready. You just like
Yeah.
you opened your eyes and you were in another dimension of ready to,
I was like,
to go.
I'm so ready now.
All right. Number one. We'll start with our guest today.
Wait, do I have to write this down or do
No.
I
no,
just
I
That's
just
good
I
start.
tally. That's all.
Yeah, and you don't
Okay,
find
okay.
out whether you're right until the end.
Okay.
Number one. Fallen Empires. Fallen Empires. From the ashes of destruction, a new kingdom will rise.
Mobile game.
Mobile game. Greg Miller says.
I want you to know right now off the top of this one, Jared, this is a great pairing because this is like I forget what the last couple ones I felt like it was kind of obvious where I pitched a perfect game and I'm not bragging last time, but like I'm saying this one, Fallen Empires, mobile game or Magic the Gathering.
Yep.
I'm gonna say mobile game.
Saying mobile game.
Yeah,
By the
that
way,
sounds like
I didn't
mobile
give
game.
proper credit. 2 different best friends recommended this category to me independently of one another.
Awesome.
Yep. This was a recommend. They were like mobile game or Magic the Gathering. You
Okay,
got to do
okay.
this.
I love it.
Yep.
Love it.
This was not my idea. Number 2. Going to Greg Miller first. Autumn Dynasty. The traditional Chinese painting becomes an epic battlefield in Autumn Dynasty.
Autumn like fall, right?
Yes. AUTUMN.
I'm gonna say mobile game.
Mobile game.
Can you read it to me one more time?
Autumn Dynasty. The traditional Chinese painting becomes an epic battlefield in Autumn Dynasty. That description is either taken from a mobile game or made up by me to sound like it's taken from a mobile game.
That's a mobile game. I think
right.
it's a mobile game.
Number 3. Sam. Champions of Kamigawa. MOBA hero strategy comes to iOS.
I think that is Magic the
Magic
Gathering.
the Gathering.
I agree. It's Magic.
Champions of Kamigawa. Number 4. Guild Pact. Band together to conquer.
Pact PACT.
CT. All one word. Guild Pact. Not
Mobile-
2 words.
mobile game.
Mobile game.
Oh wait, you said all one word?
All one word.
Yeah, definitely mobile game.
I think that's Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering card set.
The first time we've deviated.
Number 5.
See who it pays off for.
Ready for this one? All right, here we go. Sleight of Mind. Turn-based strategy with simple rules.
Fuck, this is a really good one. These two fans, great job.
Say it one more time. Sorry, the first part.
Sleight of Mind.
Sleight of mind.
Like sleight of hand, but
Yeah.
mind.
Mobile game.
There we go.
I'm saying mobile as well.
Mobile game. There we go. All right. Let's head down the list. Kevin, are we ready? Oh, wait, that's not Kevin. It's Cool Greg over there. Sorry, Cool Greg. Couldn't see you over the TV. All right. Number 1, Fallen Empires. From the ashes of destruction, a new kingdom will rise. Are you peeking to see which are which?
No.
You did. You peeked. To break the tension. Fallen Empires. From the ashes of destruction, a new kingdom will rise. Fallen Empires. Magic the Gathering card set.
Damn.
Wow.
We both
Right.
struck out there. We both
Fallen
said mobile.
Empires. Yep. Fallen Empires, one of the earliest Magic the Gathering expansion sets, and the first one to completely suck.
Sounds like a mobile game.
It does sound like a mobile game.
Did, however, give us the wonderful Magic the Gathering Black Sorcery for 2 black mana, Hymn to Torok, which allowed
Shut
forced
up, dork.
forced other players to discard 2 cards at random. Extremely powerful card. Should still be in the set. Magic the Gathering got wimpy over the years. Number 2. Autumn Dynasty. Well done, folks, because Autumn Dynasty, the traditional Chinese painting, becomes an epic battlefield, and Autumn Dynasty is, in fact, a mobile game.
Ding, 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 ding,
Well
ding.
done. What's the
We
score
both-
so far?
It is 1-1 right now.
1-1 right now.
There's gonna be like one thing in here that's gonna break.
There's
us.
only one question that matters. And
Number
it is
3.
Guild Pact. Number
Champions of Kamigawa, the mobile hero strategy comes to iOS. No, Champions of Kamigawa, Magic the Gathering set based around ninjas and pseudo-Japanese
Ding,
culture.
ding, ding, ding,
We got that.
ding. 2-2 right now.
Kamigawa, fun fact, Japanese for River of the Gods.
Oh.
Cool.
Number 4, Guild Pact, all one word, band together to conquer. Guild Pact, totally a Magic the Gathering card set.
Oh!
I win.
What's that score?
That is 3-2. Sam, there's
fine.
no way for me to catch up.
And those of you playing at home, Sleight of Mind, and I was really mean with this one. Sleight of Mind, turn-based strategy with simple rules. The description, turn-based strategy with simple rules, lifted from the description of a mobile game, Antioy, but Sleight of Mind, totally a Magic card. 1 blue
Wow.
mana to change the color name on any one card.
That was a hard one. I was actually originally going to lean towards Magic, but
Yeah, that's a Magic card.
But yeah, wow.
I think Sleight of Mind was introduced in I believe it was an Alpha, Beta, and Unlimited.
I win.
Congratulations,
you
Sam.
Lose. I'm the winner.
So the winner-
It's me.
Look at that winner!
Yay.
Bravo!
Thank you.
What
Thank
game we
you.
playing here, Cool Greg?
Thank you.
It's more game or bullshit. It's more game or bullshit. Jay's gonna read some stuff and we'll figure out if it's over game or not. Get ready!
Our champion for the day.
I told you
me.
last week, when the song ends, it bookends your segment. You don't get to talk right after the song ends, all right? That's when the show's back in my hands.
Try
all
to
right?
stop me.
Oh, so
Jared
defiant.
Petty.
Spicy.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's been the Kind of Funny Gamescast episode 191. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you. We enjoy you. We're about to unbox this Lego DC Super Villains press pack or whatever the hell it is on the post show, which you can catch on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Because, of course, over on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, you can support this show and along with everything else Kind of Funny related, get my notes, do a whole bunch of different stuff. See the show live as we record it. See it later on demand whenever you want, ad-free with the pre and post show. Jared.
Yes, sir.
What do you got to say?
Well, before we check out, something we talked about before the show that I wanted to bug you about for a second. So right now, I do a little show called Red Dead Radio. You
does.
might have heard of it.
I have.
This isn't a plug for Red Dead Radio, though I'd love you'd watch it. But it's become rapidly much more successful than it previously was with its views increasing on YouTube exponentially compared to the traffic I used to get on it. To the point that it would probably be beneficial for people who want to advertise to place advertisements on it for their fine products, because a lot of people would see and hear those ads. Because normally ad deals are cut weeks or months in advance, and because I was not ready for this level of growth, I am in a situation where I need to sell ads, and rather than go to traditional ad-based agencies, I think I might be in a better position to look at you, friends, and say, are you a developer? Are you a publisher? Do you have a podcast, a show, an artistic product? Do you make stuff and hats? Do you make crafts on Etsy? Right now, if you want to reach a lot of people with your message, mail me at mail@reddeadradio.com. That's mail@reddeadradio.com, because I need advertisers, and y'all best friends and folks listening, watching, might very well be just the folks I need to talk with. So shoot me a message and I'll talk with you about it, because there are advertising opportunities aplenty, and a lot of people going to see some Red Dead content over the next few weeks. Anyway, thanks for that, Greg.
No, anytime. Sam,
What up?
you've been amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for coming by. Where can people keep up with you? What do you want to pimp? Where should people be going?
Well, if you want to keep up with what I'm doing, I'm always on Twitter @Lighthammer. It's not a heavy hammer. It's a light hammer. Get it?
I got it.
Thank you.
All right. That's about time for you to go.
And that's my handle everywhere. So yeah, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that jazz. Lighthammer is where you can find what I'm doing, or GameSpot.com. I have some stuff on the YouTubes, stuff on the site. We stream sometimes.
Has there ever been a Bud Light Hammer in your family?
Oh, that's awesome.
That's really funny. No, there hasn't.
Or a Miller Light Hammer? Or...
Nope, nothing like that. My
Okay.
dad likes Bud Light, so that's funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should totally have a
We
kid
should
named
team
Bud
up
Light
more.
Hammer.
Yeah, and Miller Light Hammer. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's been our pleasure to serve you. Thanks for watching the Kind of Funny Gamescast, everybody. Click up here to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click down here to support us on Patreon, where you get all sorts of goodies, like that pre and post show. Well, you see this stuff? That was in the box. You didn't know that, maybe. Well, there was more. You know what? Just go watch the post show over on the thing. Over there is the other channel. It's called Kind of Funny. And then down there is Cool Greg's Fun Hole. He puts whatever he wants.